Welcome to the Tea Palace, where we strive to bring the tea and the facts. Woo! Let me say that again. Where we strive to bring
people that
the
were
tea,
trafficking.
the tea and the facts. Come on in, come on in. Come on in, come on in. We strive to bring the hottest tea and the facts. Let's listen, y'all. They are live. There seems to be a change of events, a little humbleness. Let's go. Let's listen. They still talking about them Epstein files. They don't want to talk about the cover-up. They absolutely do not want to talk about the cover-ups. The cover-ups. Yeah. It is some shaky, trifling stuff going on. And there is some fear mongering amongst them. Mega.
Women
Let's
to
listen.
be held accountable. Every single Republican I know wants the government officials who were involved in any potential cover-up or blackmail operation, if there was one, to be
Speaking of blackmail,
outed and held accountable. So we're going to try to do everything we can to get this, and I think we've demonstrated that.
yeah,
I'm a Republican. We subpoenaed Bill Barr. We subpoenaed Alex Acosta. We subpoenaed Pam Bondi for the Epstein documents. I don't remember.
How did that go? Hey, Flip Mode.
When I was in the minority, a Democrat chairman.
Speaking of, I don't even remember the names he said, but baby, look at here. Let me tell you what we gonna do. Sometime today or tonight, we are going to watch this shit right here. Baby, when I tell you everything is leaking, everything is leaking. And Auntie Fee got it. I'm just sitting on it waiting to see what them likes gonna look like. You take care of me, I take care of you. Baby, when I tell you everything is gonna be alright. Soon and very soon. They got her whole surveillance. Now, we gonna talk about it. We gonna talk about when the time period that we gonna just watch and see how things is gonna go. Do she look like she wear it? Do she look like, huh? We going to jail today, y'all. We gonna go to jail today. Well, prison, whatever. Yeah, we gonna see how oh my God, yeah. So hold that mute. Hit the like button. Yeah, what you over there for? Yeah, we going in. But let's move on back. Let's go on back to where we were. Let's give her some privacy. But sometime today, we are going up in there. Yeah, see why she had to be moved. Let's see. We just gonna check the temperature. You understand?
When you want the cocktail,
but let's go back where we were. Hold on.
The cookies without the compromise. When you want the brownies.
And you know, it's all a big everything.
Everything that, and so I don't know if you have anything you want to add.
September 8th, they're going to produce the documents from the estate. I believe September the 16th or 19th one, Alex Acosta's coming in for a deposition, and I know that during our discussion, Ms.
Dang it, I don't
Crockett
even know where I was with
Raj
this.
Krishnamurti, I believe, asked questions. Absolutely, we're doing what that.
Thank you. I agree with.
Failures or additional cover-ups.
After that interview.
We'll have a hearing to
The cover up
determine
is real.
the crimes that were committed. The hearings.
What about your homie?
Seeking justice for the victims, not scoring political points
This is
like
not
you
a
all
political
want.
point.
We're concerned about the victims.
Oh, now you was
and
talking
their
this.
request that someone
Oh,
finally
Lord.
be held accountable. Because they weren't during the Biden administration, they weren't during the Obama administration.
I'm going to take.
They weren't during the Clinton administration.
The question was whether you would hold a hearing as to
We'll have a hearing.
transferred. Why she was transferred after.
We'll have a hearing, and if
so
someone
the
wants to
answer is
ask
no.
that question,
So the
they can
answer is
ask
no.
it. You can ask
The
any
answer is no.
question. We'll have a hearing.
But it wasn't a hearing on what the question was. And Rankin.
You want to have a,
And Republicans have been frustrating that effort for months and months and months. And you even adjourned early to avoid having to vote on it.
That is
So-
up day one, didn't do it. So if all of a sudden the interest, to be honest, I'm glad it's coming out now. There's been a lot transpired with Ghislaine Maxwell, the death of, I don't even know, when did Epstein die?
2019, August.
2019. Okay, so a lot's happened over the 20 years of this. Well, thank you for what you're doing.
Shit.
I think that.
What are you
the public
doing?
Needs to know.
Covering for
As
Trump.
they do on most everything. There are a lot of questions of the government involvement in the shooting of President Trump. I mean, that's going to come out at some point. Not only Butler, Pennsylvania, but the golf course.
Hey, Specs. Hey, Flip
Is there
Mode.
anything you want to add to what Mr. Garcia or any?
No, I just think that, the subpoena covers everything. I mean, if there are flight logs with the estate, that'll fall under the subpoena. If there are questions about why Maxwell was moved from Florida to Texas, that'll fall.
Have a subpoena in hand above everything else, even a law passed by Congress,
Absolutely.
which can be challenged in court immediately to get this information.
Absolutely. We're doing what that discharge petition wants done. And we're 3 steps ahead of that discharge petition. We've already deposed former Attorney General Bill Barr. We've already subpoenaed the estate, the Epstein estate, for all the documents.
And
We've
you
already
said
subpoenaed.
September 8th, the material would come from them?
I'm sorry,
You said the Epstein estate is going to start producing material?
September 8th. September 8th, they're going to produce the documents from the estate. I believe September the 16th or 19th one, Alex Acosta's coming in for a deposition. And I know that during our discussion, Ms. Crockett and Raj Krishnamurti, I believe, asked questions about what we should ask Acosta. So everybody, both sides are going to get equal time to interview Acosta on all of that. And again, the administration has complied with our request, and I think we're getting those documents, and as we speak, they should be being uploaded to a website right now.
And it's my understanding that the Massey document, the Massey legislation, only asked only for information from the administration. Is that correct?
That's right.
It doesn't go beyond the administration.
Right, and we're going to go beyond it. We're already getting the documents from the administration, and we've moved way past, because that discharge petition was filed 6 weeks ago. We've already deposed, again, the former Attorney General. We've got dates set for others to come in. We're downloading 34,000 pages of documents. We met with the victims today and got more names that they said in front of the minority, and we're going to press forward with that. So we're way ahead of this discharge petition. I don't think it's necessary at all.
And and you are going to be in a very unique position of being the arbiter of any needed redactions, keeping that decision in the hands of members of Congress, correct?
Correct. And there were, one of the victims today made it very clear she didn't want her name, made public. Others said they were willing to let their names be public and were willing to testify in a public hearing. And So, you have to know, you have to have, grant privacy, the privacy rights to the victims. Some of the victims want their names out there and some want their names to be redacted.
And it's my understanding that was not sufficiently taken care of.
That's correct.
In the Massey
That's
legislation.
correct. And I also want to mention that Mike Johnson, Speaker Johnson, sat through the whole meeting today with the victims, the entire 2.5 hour discussion we had, bipartisan discussion.
And what I heard from the victims was that they feel for the first time that they're being heard.
They feel that they're being heard, but they made it very clear they don't have a lot of trust in anyone affiliated with the government because they believe that their government has let them down. And the timeline of that would date over both Republican and Democrat administrations in the past.
Correct. So
They don't have no trust
see if
in
I can
you,
put all this
in your
together. You
administration.
believe a formalized investigation by the House is the best path forward to obtain the records and disclose them to the people.
Yes.
You've made a commitment, and our resolution makes a commitment to disclose everything that can possibly be disclosed short of violating the privacy rights of others.
Yes, ma'am, 100%.
And by having the full House vote and speak in support of this investigation,
All the predators. All the predators. Let me say, hey, Monty. I had now Spec, y'all hit the like button.
very much,
Spec,
Mr. McGovern.
I had a meltdown today. I must admit, I had a I almost had 2 meltdowns today. Lord help me, Lord. Auntie Fee. Y'all hit the like button. Double tap the face of your screen. Hit the 3 dots at the top right. Y'all kill me. Y'all make me sick with that. Y'all made me sick. Hit the 3 dots or leave early. Off into this, baby. Hit the 3 dots or leave early. Monte, what's up? Y'all, so listen, I was on an 800 call talking to the investments, looking at some things. And when it came time talking to them about penalties and, and they mentioned government taxes. Lord, what they mentioned, government taxes. Just government. Just money. My money. My money. My money. I lost it. I lost it. And that girl said, I totally understand, ma'am. I totally understand. I just don't want not a dime, not a penny of my money going toward anything that's going on with the government today, especially the way that they have harmed U.S. citizens, kids, minors. So when they transferred me to talk to a specialist, not a specialist, well, yeah, a guru in what I was, he started talking, and I was about to have another meltdown talking to him. It is, and I said to the girl, I think I'm more hurt right now with everything that's being uncovered than the pain I went through in these last 2 weeks trying to recover from an injury. And I was in pain. I was in pain with no pain medicine type pain. Acting like I'm in my 20s, 30s, like I can handle it, like I'm a big tough girl for real, like, you know, like the recovery is that of a child. Pain. And that's just how hurt and devastated I am just imagining. It's the imagination for me. Lord, I thank you that I have not experienced what these people and kids just overall have experienced. But just thinking about it, thinking about a dime of my money is too much of my money going towards any of this corruption. So to ask me how I'm doing, I'm okay now, but I needed to, and I laughed with the young lady. I said, baby girl, you just don't even know. I talk about this every day. And I will have to tell my tea-sippers that Auntie Fee had a meltdown talking to the investment firm about my money and any of it going to the government for them to kill and steal. Oh yeah, I had a meltdown, but I'm okay now. I owed y'all that little testimony. And that's the God's honest truth. That's just how painful this is for me. That's just how painful it is to me. Let's keep going. Let's listen.
Thank you very much. First, I think I want to ask unanimous consent to insert into the record the Massey-Kana resolution, because you keep on saying that it doesn't protect the victims, but it's in yellow here. There's some pretty explicit language about protecting the identity of the victim, so I don't want there to be any confusion.
Without objection.
And Mr. Comer says it's unnecessary, but this bill we're doing right now is unnecessary because you're already doing something. So I can't help but feel that this is like cover. And I got to be honest,
Cover.
We've been trying to bring, legislation to the floor. We're trying to, amend bills to try to get this administration to do what Trump said he was going to do during the campaign, and that is release all the files. We had to recess early because people didn't want to take a vote on it.
Right.
And I think, I appreciate the niceties of both of you appearing before this committee right now, but I got to tell you, I think what's going on here today is the Republicans are terrified. And I think we all know why. And that is because the president doesn't want to release all the files.
Absolutely.
I mean, after promising that he would release them during the campaign,
Liar.
then he issued, that was in 2024, and then 2025 he says, it's all a big hoax. It's perpetrated by Democrats and some stupid Republicans. That's his quote verbatim. So you say all Republicans want this stuff released. I don't think that guy does.
No.
And what you're telling us that you're going to release some of the files tonight, if I heard Mr. Garcia correctly, 97% of which is already out in public. So we get 3% that's new. I don't know what it's going to say. But I just don't understand what the big deal is. Why can't the administration just release the files? You can do the investigation.
It's too big of a deal. It's too big of a reveal. It's too big. That big, beautiful deal full of a whole bunch of bullshit was bigger to them than it would be to us. What's big to us is for y'all trifling. Ooh, Lord. Trifling. Nasty. Criminal organization ass. Bunch of good old WBs. In the closet ass Republicans don't want to reveal that in which we want y'all to reveal. Right now, all we're asking is for you to release the Epstein files, minus the survivors, minus the victims. Everything else is above board. Put everything, and I do mean everything, black, white, red, blue, boy, girl, male, female, Christians, Christian Zionists, all of it. Release it all. That's all we asked them for. And it's like pulling teeth that's been in a horse ass mouth for umpteen years. It's like pulling teeth. You don't want to let it go. Why? Yeah, so miss me with all that trifling. Oh, we want the victims. Oh, the victims. We love the victims. He ain't said that not one time. He said, uck them victims again. I ucked them once. And now that I forgot that I'm in them files, I'm going to uck them again. That's what you're saying. Whether you realize it or not. Your orange face, pumpkin face, shitbag. Bill Clinton loving. Narcissistic ass fraud. How about that? I was trying to find some good words, but they want me to say, oh, yeah, y'all cry so goddamn much all of a sudden it ain't funny. But carry on. Carry on. Carry on. I'm gonna try to lay it to their asses today. They don't make me have a meltdown. I told that girl, I said, thank God I can still laugh at myself. I can still laugh at myself because I was finna go in on her on that phone. If it was something I could have done to stop any type of my money, I mean, not a dime of my money going toward none of that bullshit. And you had a nerve to talk to us like we crazy and you stealing our shit? You think it's the good old days for real? Okay. Carry on.
Legislation to the floor. We're trying to, amend bills to try to get this administration to do what Trump said he was going to do during the campaign, and that is release all the files. We said early because people didn't want to take a vote on it.
Everybody get it.
I appreciate the niceties of both of you appearing before this committee right now, but I got to tell you, I think what's going on here today is the Republicans are terrified,
the leaders like that
privileges. And I think we all know why, and that is because the president doesn't want to release all the files. Thank you very much. First, I think I want to ask unanimous consent to insert into the record the Massey-Connor resolution, because you keep on saying that it doesn't protect the victims, but there's in yellow here, there's some pretty explicit language about protecting the identity of the victim, so I don't want there to be any confusion.
Without objection.
And, Mr. Comer says it's unnecessary, but this bill we're doing right now is unnecessary because you're already doing something. So I can't help but feel that this is like cover. And I got to be honest with you, we've been trying to bring, legislation to the floor. We're trying to, amend bills to try to get this administration to do what Trump said he was going to do during the campaign, and that is release all the files. We had to recess early because people didn't want to take a vote on it. And I think, I appreciate the niceties of both of you appearing before this committee right now, but I got to tell you, I think I think what's going on here today is the Republicans are terrified. And, and.
Scared like them kids was.
And that is because the president doesn't want to release all the files. I mean, after promising that he would release them during the campaign, then he issued, that was in 2024, and then 2025, he says, it's all a big hoax. It's perpetrated by Democrats and some stupid Republicans. That's his quote verbatim. So when you say all Republicans want this stuff released, I don't think that guy does.
That's right.
And what you're telling us that you're going to release some of the files tonight, if I heard Mr. Garcia correctly, 97% of which is already out in public. So we get 3% that's new. I don't know what it's going to say. But I just don't understand what the big deal is. Why can't the administration just release the files? You can do the investigation, but just release all the files. Trump and the people he put in charge of the FBI and the DOJ promised that they would.
They need somebody to blame.
They haven't done so yet. I mean, don't you think? I mean, we just want to know, what are they trying to hide? Well, why is this such a difficult thing for them to do? Before we left for recess,
because he'll go to jail.
You told us that you wanted to release the files and that a non-binding resolution authored by Mr. Norman.
There won't be a new world order
to get any Epstein files released. Why hasn't that been called up yet? Mr. Scott?
We're Maurice's, and we're here to give you
As soon as I get up.
wild feeling.
You could do so this week. Hasn't done it. I don't know why not. Maybe Mr. Norman can explain to us why his Epstein resolution never made it to the floor. Maybe Mr. Scott can tell us would like to share with us why he decided not to call up the rule for its consideration when it was well within his power to do so. But honestly, the answers they give really don't matter, because the resolution was nothing more than a distraction to buy time.
Absolutely.
And I think we're doing the same again today.
Say it again.
But today's resolution is even worse. At least Mr. Norman's do-nothing resolution had a deadline of 30 days. If I'm reading your resolution correctly, there's no deadline. It's just an open-ended distraction with the same goal.
Call his ass
Protect
out.
the powerful, hide the files, and buy some time for people to forget. So, all that has to happen for the files to be released is one thing. The Trump administration needs to release them. That is all. And if that's complicated for some Republicans to get their arms around, that's okay, because they're in luck. Someone has already done the work for them, because there is a bipartisan bill offered by Mr. Massey and Mr. Khanna that would force the administration to release the Epstein files while protecting the victims. And Mr. Comer, just for the record, I think you're not in support of the Massey Khanna bill, but let me ask you formally, do you support the Massey Khanna bill to release the Epstein files?
We're doing that as we speak. And you said some of the documents were going to be released. All 34,000 documents will be online, hopefully in the next 5 minutes, if they're not now.
Yeah, but 97% of which we've already seen. Mr. Garcia?
Yeah, I just want to add, first, I appreciate the comments, but we should be clear. If it's true, as the chairman said, that every Republican supports disclosure around the Epstein files, then every Republican should sign the discharge petition from Congressman Khanna and Congressman Massey. There's no question. And the key difference in that petition as well is that petition ensures, one, that members of Congress are all on the record on releasing the files, and two, that petition, as you have in front of you, also ensures that the files actually go to the American public, that they're actually released to the public. I appreciate that the subpoena that we forced a vote on is going to our committee, and it's important work. Most of the documents that were sent to our committee, those initial documents were given to right-wing influencers back in February. The files and the full report, according to the Attorney General, were sitting on her desk, ready to be released. We know that the Attorney General herself has shared with the President directly that he is also in the files. The reason, and we don't understand why this cover-up by the President continues to not release the full files. And so the discharge petition is an important additional step forward for the full Congress to be on record to release the full files. And so that piece is important. And it's clear that while maybe there are some Republicans in Congress, and hopefully all, that want to see disclosure, that is not the case with the Republicans in the White House and the Department of Justice.
So 7 months to get released 97% of which already been released. But again, Mr. Comer, I mean, do you support the Massey counter resolution, yes or no?
We're already doing it. And the discharge petition does not have the force of law. We've already subpoenaed.
You can
And
look, no, and I'll let you.
No, look, Mr. McGovern, it's very disappointing that you're trying to politicize this. We're trying to get answers. We're trying to do.
You ain't giving none.
This discharge petition, but you're trying to politicize it.
No, it's a yes or no question. It's not a trick question.
It really ain't.
We've already done what the discharge petition's asking.
You think the resolution saying to keep doing what you were doing is better than a bill that can become law?
The bill has no force of law. It has no force of the law. You're just trying to do a political stunt.
Look, ask the question, Mr. McGovern.
Well, I was asking a question, he interrupted me. It's a simple yes or no question. Simple yes or no question.
We're already doing it.
All right, well, that's not a yes or no, but do you think the resolution saying to keep doing what you were doing is better than a bill that can become law, which would require the release of all the files?
Yes or
It doesn't have the
no?
force of the law. It's just a political stunt. It's just a political stunt, and you know.
This is a resolution. The counter is a Massey counter bill would become law. If all Republicans want everything released, then, you know, you could vote for it, and then if he decides to veto it, you could override the veto.
You don't want to do that.
The subpoena goes further than the discharge petition. Discharge petition is just a political stunt.
Yes or
Just a political
no?
stunt.
All right, so
And look, we have done everything bipartisan in this investigation. This is
He don't want to say yes or
and
no.
Most of the Democrats on the Oversight Committee want to be bipartisan in this, Mr. McGovern.
So you're not going to
Ask
answer my
the-
question, but
No, he don't. Ask the president to do what he said he was going to do.
to consider this resolution, which, if I'm reading it right, simply tells your committee to continue doing what you're doing.
Shit. Everything you want Bill to answer is in the Epstein files. Release them.
We do not, the resolution as presented is not necessary. Again, and we want disclosure, we want the files released, but what should happen is we should vote on the discharge petition and move it forward and then continue our work. Can I say one more thing, Mr. Ranking Member? I also want to be clear that the DOJ has not been forthcoming or presented everything that we've asked for in the subpoena. And I think it's important that even in our recent interaction with the DOJ, they're essentially now not giving us any new additional information as to when we're receiving the rest of the files. And so having Congress act and taking a vote on the full release of the files is an important additional step, which is why the discharge petition is important. And the resolution should not somehow take precedent or discourage members from somehow signing the discharge petition.
So help me understand what we're considering right now. Does this resolution grant you any new authority?
No.
I think the resolution will send a signal if we end up in court. If, as the victim stated today, there's some of the most powerful and some of the richest names in the world were involved in a cover-up, we're going to end up in court. And I think the resolution will demonstrate that Congress is working in a bipartisan manner, not trying to be partisan, to get the truth to the American people and hold people accountable.
Yeah, why don't we do both? I mean, Mr. Massey, last time I checked, is a Republican. Other Republicans will sign that. I mean, why can't we do both?
I think we can. I think.
Excuse me, Mr. McCarthy, would the gentleman yield a moment?
Yes.
We can. We certainly can.
Let's
But
go.
We'll pass this resolution here.
Let's go.
And then if sufficient people sign the discharge petition, then it will come out. And it's my understanding, there is a significant difference in the resolution that we have here and the Massey resolution, and that is this resolution demands disclosure, whereas the Massey resolution does not. So I think we can do both and let that happen. We want to show that we want this done in a very important way.
Well, if we can do both, then why is the Rules Committee standing in the way of allowing? I'm going to have a vote on the Massey counter resolution. Well, why would Republicans of the Rules Committee block us from just bringing it to the floor? We could vote on both.
Because they've already started the discharge petition.
Well, that doesn't.
They've already started it.
Yeah, well, that's a nice. Well, that's whatever. I don't even want to say what I'm thinking about that answer. But let me let me just ask, this is a yes or no question. Does the administration have the power to release the Epstein files with appropriate redactions to protect the victims and the survivors? Do they have the authority to do that?
Yes.
I think so with the subpoena.
Yes.
All right, they do. So, but they're not. And Mr. Comey, this resolution that is before us right now says that you're investigating mismanagement that led to Mr. Epstein's death. Who was the president of the United States when Mr. Epstein died in custody?
Woo, let's go.
I would assume it would have been Trump.
Yeah. And I have another, just one last question. You referred to Ghislaine Maxwell as a terrible individual. And I guess the question is, maybe you can enlighten us, what have you done to investigate why Ms. Maxwell was moved to a minimum security facility? I mean, she's a convicted
Baby, y'all
child
better
predator,
ask the right questions. Come on, keep going.
sent to prison. She testifies before some people in the administration. She didn't testify. She
Had a tea
answers
party.
questions that are put forward by somebody in this administration. She basically says the president didn't do anything wrong, and then all of a sudden is moved to a minimum security facility. Are you going to do? Have you done a hearing on that? Or are you doing a hearing on that?
We've subpoenaed Ms. Maxwell. She sent a letter via her attorneys and said that she requested that we wait for the deposition until after the Supreme Court rules on her appeal. We're hoping that's this month. So as soon as the Supreme Court rules on her appeal, we'll go in and do a formal deposition. So Mr. Garcia will be there. I'll be there if you want to be there.
I'm not.
And those questions can be asked. Those are legitimate questions.
Well, but I don't think Ms. Maxwell can answer those questions. I mean, I listened to some of her interview, and it sounded like there was no cross-examination. I'm
Right.
just curious why, after she said what she said, was she moved? So it's not about Ms. Maxwell. It's about somebody made the decision to move her,
Blanche.
which I don't think was expected. Mr. Garcia?
Yeah, I mean, look, let's be really clear. First of all, Democrats on the committee, we did not support moving Ghislaine Maxwell's testimony after the Supreme Court heard her appeal. In fact, that was a decision that the majority made that we did not support. We think that Ms. Maxwell, before she was interviewed by Donald Trump's former personal lawyer, should have been in front of a bipartisan committee in a deposition. And so, to be clear, and I think it's safe to say that it's an outrage and shameful that Ghislaine Maxwell was moved to a facility where she is now more comfortable and has more access to folks both on the outside and her ability to move freely, when she has victimized over hundreds and hundreds of women. And I'll add one more thing to that. We've written to the DOJ, the Federal Bureau of Prisons, demanding answers, yet no response from the Attorney General. We have no idea why she was moved and at whose direction was she moved to that facility.
But she was moved, and correct me if I'm wrong, by this current administration.
Correct.
Absolutely. I mean,
I would think that
That should be.
I mean, this is so outrageous that a big part of the investigation of your oversight committee should be on that as well.
Absolutely. But you on bail.
I hope that you pursue that. But again,
that you
I
want
think it
to
is imperative
ask questions that ain't even
we pass the
pertaining
Massey kind of bill.
to Epstein.
Because I think it does have the force of law, because I don't trust this administration.
I don't either. Thank you. So y'all wanted to make sure Ghislaine Maxwell, her ass, is sitting up chilling in a single cell by herself, not worried about a thing, reading her books. You know, Auntie Fee, how you know what she doing? How the hell you know, Auntie Fee? Why you act like you know what's going on in that woman's jail cell, Auntie Fee? You know, sometimes you just be going overboard, Auntie Fee. How you know all of that there, huh? Auntie Fee, how you know? How you know? Say it ain't so. Say it ain't so, Auntie Fee. How you know? Can you tell the good people? Dang it, I need to know which one of these. I got too much going. Okay, so it's that one. Auntie Fee, how you know? Auntie Fee. How you know? Cause we all up in here. 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 Look at her. Look at her. That's how we know. Cause we all up in here. So she chilling. Lacking, cat lacking. Chilling. And our victims and survivors are dealing with the trauma, emotional baggage, and bull crap that they've been left with. And this heifer here, feet all propped up, ain't got nobody in the cell with her. No threat, no harm, no file, no nothing, no worry in the world. She get 3 solid meals a day, whether she wanted or not. And hell, if she want to, she can call Uber. And who paying for it? The people she victimized. Is she twiddling her feet, Auntie Fee? Is she twiddling her feet? Huh? She is twiddling her feet. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh, I think I have a headache. Oh, when are they going to get me up out of here? When am I going to be able to sneak out? I wonder. Oh. So you telling me she's sitting back, feet propped all up, chilling with her hand on her forehead, and we got full-blown survivors sitting with discomfort. Yeah. And you wonder why we know y'all are full of shit. Blinders are off. Surprise, surprise. Blinders are off, and we're not falling for that bull crap that y'all feeding to us. Because she has her hand on her forehead. Let me put my feet down. I'm tired of twiddling my feet. That's how we know. Because we all up in the jail cell, the single jail cell. She need to have Big Bertha, Kathy, Bronx. Yeah, get your hand down. The fuck you wiping your eyes for? Huh? You need all of them. Laquitas, Ramona Rochelle, Dot, KK them in the cell with you. Reminding you of the choices that you made. And every last person up in there whose child was taken away from them and they couldn't handle it and did some crazy shit. got on some habit. Where you going? Waiting for dinner. What you? Huh? Are you looking in the mirror? Everybody who have issues with done had issue with problem children because of the generational curse of the things that happen to them need to be in the room with her. And so they can think that she is the person who may had plotted to steal somebody handing her ass some tissue. Is it hard? She's saying, oh, it's not soft enough. I need some Charmin. This is the dollar store. Oh, I need something else. Wait a minute. I need something else. Can I get some? I don't want paper towels. I want some soft. I want some soft towels from Neiman Marcus. Bird off Goodman. I'm going to let her have it. Let's get on back over here. I just needed to let them know we ain't believing none of that bull crap you talking about, sir. Because she's living a good prison life. She don't have a worry. I need for us to see where they looking at her while she eating and why they plotting on handling some business where they know who she is and she the one that's getting special treatment, bird off, treatment, carte blanche treatment, and they suffering. They food ain't hot. Yeah, they tissue ain't soft. Yeah, looking at her saying, bitch, I'ma get you. We need her in general GP. Ain't that what it is? General population. That's what we need. Up in here, up in here. That's what our taxpayers' dime should be going towards. Up in here, up in here. Let's go. Having me have a meltdown.
Something's going on here. I don't know what. But there's a reason why everybody went from we're going to release the files one day to the next day saying we're not. So in the spirit of full transparency, in the spirit of demanding that they do what they said they were going to do, I think I think we need to do more than what we're doing. Mr. Comer?
Yeah,
All
I was
the
just told
evil.
by counsel, the documents pertaining to the move would fall under the Department of Justice subpoena. So I think that's a fair question that I'm confident if we don't ask it, Mr. Garcia will whenever we're.
Yeah, I'll tell you, this whole episode has been
All right.
outrageous and it's disgusting. And it's been strange, especially the way this Congress has dealt with it up to this point. And
High horn blowing.
So some of us believe we ought to, we ought to also pass the Massey kind of bill.
Wearing
I hope
fresh
that we will do
panties.
that. I hope my friends on the Rules Committee will allow us to offer it, because I'll bring it up as an amendment. I yield back.
Thank you, Mr.
Muncie.
McGovern. Ms. Fishbach, you're recognized.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And I am confused because the Oversight Committee is trying to do the investigation, trying to get the information, trying to get it released. They have been working on it most of August.
Yes.
A significant part of August. So I am confused as to why the Democrats are opposing this, because you are doing it in the way that it should be done. Not
Lady-
some resolution added, like the Democrats attempted to in Rules Committee in the middle of, well, it wasn't the middle of the night, in the evening. But instead, this is a thoughtful way that you are handling this.
Thoughtful.
Bipartisanly. I understand, and so I am just really confused about that. And I just want to say that I thank you for doing what you're doing, because we obviously need to figure this out in a respectful manner, so we are protecting those victims who don't want to be publicized. We're doing it in an organized manner so that things happen in a transparent manner. And we are going to, and my understanding is you are going to disclose and publish everything.
Everything.
Everything that, and so
Hello?
Lies.
Oh my God, Dylan. Everyone watching how we
I don't
shoot
believe
our
nothing they
podcast.
say.
We shoot everything inside.
confused I am about this, because this is just grandstanding and political theater.
Absolutely.
From the other side, because you're doing what you're supposed to be doing.
We want to know. I want to know. If you look at the roster of the committee, Marjorie Taylor Greene, Anna Paulina Luna, Nancy Bass, they want to know. I mean, they ask tough questions. And look, when Acosta is interviewed, there'll be some tough questions for him. He has a lot of questions that need to be answered.
Right, Mimi.
With respect to some
The
things.
whole
So
nothing
we
but the
not
truth. So
put
help
a
you
line
God.
down, we're only going after the Democrats. That happened in the past when the Democrats were in charge. They only went after Republicans. We want to get the truth, and it goes back. It spans 6 administrations. So look, for whatever reason, according to the victims today, and Dr. Fox was in there, Mr. Garcia was in there, they've been giving interviews to FBI and other government officials, people in various departments of justice for decades.
She talking just to talk.
And name names, and nothing's been done. You know, the Biden administration had an opportunity to release the Epstein files, and they didn't do it.
Oh my God. If all you can say is what the previous administration did or did not do, and you're not showing anything better than what they did or did not do, shut up. Just shut up. You ran off of a lie. Now you're blaming them for what they did not do. And you're not doing it. So you're in the same boat they in. Only difference is they didn't run off of saying that they was going to release them. But if they didn't do it, and you ran and said, I'ma do it for the people. I'ma do it for the people. I'ma do it for the people. And in the meantime, expose Bill. And you still ain't done it? Shut up. Because you still worse than Biden. Because he didn't run his campaign off of that. He didn't run his campaign giving victims false hope. But what he did do is put old girl in that orange that you and your good old boys felt fit to move her to a more comfortable surrounding so she wouldn't feel like she was just locked up. Well, she didn't have to worry about the mass whoopings. You understand? Yeah. I ain't got no passes for y'all today. I had a little old meltdown thinking about y'all when I was talking to my financial advisor. So you get to know nothing from me today. Okay? Let's go.
You know, you go back. I mean, this is something that we're committed to doing, and we want to do. I want to be able to say the Oversight Committee, this was a big investigation. The American people are watching. I want everything out and open.
Yeah, and so, we are watching what I good at.
We're trying to do it, and we're trying to be bipartisan, and hopefully, my friends across the aisle, I think the majority of the oversight Democrats are sincere and want to do this in a bipartisan way. Hopefully, the Democrat leadership will let this be bipartisan and not play political games.
Thank you.
Would you still like to hear?
I will yield.
I'm confused too about something.
Come on,
that
Grand.
Mr. McGovern said. that 97% of what's been released was already public information. I'm not sure why that's negative, because they keep saying that, okay.
Cost us 3
3% is
million
good,
more.
But now it's all available to the public. Is that correct? Because
No.
maybe it was released to some people, but now it's released to everybody, right? So everyone can see it.
Absolutely.
I don't know what the 3% is that hadn't been released before, whether it has any significance, but I'm confused, as the young woman from Minnesota is confused as to why are they downplaying that, or why are they saying that's a waste of time?
I don't know. It's not. And, you know,
Because it's a lot that they're not exposing that they could.
They were all asking about this. The American people want to know. They would like. I've said this in a million interviews. They want to know,
interject.
who all was involved in the sex trafficking. What big names were taking advantage of those girls. And was the government involved? Those are the 3 questions, and I hope we'll be able to get as much information as possible. Look, this dates back, according to what we heard today from the victims, as far back.
That's what they holding.
96.
That's what they're withholding, the government involvement. So somebody needs to hop in there and tell Gran. They keep repeatedly showing us the same stuff. They're giving us a little bit. They inch it. Yeah, because they don't want to expose their partners, the law-making partners, freakazoids, boy grapists, girl grapists, murder, abuse, yeah, blackmail, all of that. He protecting his homies, lover friends, yeah, that's the percentage they holding on to.
So, you know, let's hope that there's still documents around. I've always had a huge
Let's hope there's still documents around. What does that tell y'all? What does that tell y'all? Let's hope there's still documents around. So when I have been seeing these last couple of days that they got caught, somebody, Trump and them, got caught trying to destroy the ones that's cooking. Yeah. Let's hope there's still evidence around. That means that they are actively destroying the evidence. But what they don't know, I don't know why they don't know. Somebody got it. Somebody got the copies. That's why every time they don't put out what people are looking for, that they know is in there, they get hauled off into these meetings. Somebody don't want to expose their hand. Dan Bongino. Yeah. LTV, huh? I was supposed to say that. Well, it's somebody on the inside. Hell, the whistleblowers. I mean, what? Oh, okay. All right. They didn't want me to say it just yet. Okay, goddamn. Told you I had a meltdown.
The FBI and the Department of Justice under various administrations, and I've always had a theory that sometimes documents don't survive from one administration to the other. We're going to do everything we can to get that information, and I think this resolution's a step in the right direction. I don't think the other thing's needed.
I thank the lady for yielding.
Thank you. But just to reiterate, I just hope that the Democrats will stop the grandstanding and really, work on the bipartisan oversight committee and making sure that these things are dealt with. I think it's a disservice to all of the victims to not work and to pretend that this is somehow bad, but focus on it and make sure, I'm asking the Democrats, make sure that it's bipartisan. Make sure that you're doing what needs to be done, the disclosure is done and the investigation is done. Because this isn't something that should be about political points. This is about something that we should investigate. And so with that, I just hope that they would come with us and help with the Oversight Committee investigation.
Thank you.
With that, I yield back.
Thank you.
Ms. Scanlon, you're recognized.
You talking about
I
Comer?
would yield to Mr. McGovern for a minute.
I'm sorry there's so much confusion on the Republican side of the aisle.
Let's go.
I mean,
Absolutely.
I don't understand why we're just not all demanding that the administration release all the files.
Facts.
And
Why
we
you
could do that
confused as
if we
hell,
were able to vote on the mass
Sally.
misconduct resolution. But apparently we can't do that. And forgive me if I'm just a little bit suspicious about all that's going on here, because I mean, I've been on this committee all year with all of you, and I have watched as we have weaved and dodged and avoided bringing anything to the floor dealing with this. And I've also, you know, we began our August recess early because none of you wanted to take a vote and hold this administration accountable, and you ran out of town. So again, and you know, want to do something bipartisan? Maybe we all could join on a bipartisan appeal to this administration to find out why Ghislaine Maxwell was moved to a cushy facility after she exonerated Donald Trump. So I'm sorry. I mean, we've lived through the last several weeks as Republicans have tried to avoid dealing with this issue. And so I hope, you know, and I trust that there's bipartisan cooperation on the Oversight Committee, and I want that investigation to move forward. But for the life of me, I do not understand why the administration, after promising to release all the files, has chosen not to. So that's what I'm confused about. I thank the gentlelady for yielding.
Thank you. Mr. Comer, I think in your introduction, just for folks who are trying to play catch up here, because there's a lot of details and a lot of names being thrown around, you said that one of the issues here is that
I agree,
the US
Kelly.
attorney who initially handled Mr. Epstein's case gave him a sweetheart deal. That's right, isn't it?
Was the initial U.S. attorney was who?
Well, you didn't name him, but it was Alex Acosta, right?
I don't know if he was the initial, but he was one of them. Yeah, he
Yeah.
gave him,
So he was the U.S. attorney appointed by George Bush in
One of
Florida,
them,
whatever
yes.
district, and he's the one that gave the deal to Epstein, where he served a couple months, but basically got out on release every day, despite all the horrific crimes that we now know occurred. Okay, and in his later career, he became Secretary of Labor in the first Trump administration, right? And he had to leave after reporting disclosed this sweetheart deal. Is that right?
I don't know what caused him to leave, but
It was about that time.
okay.
So, Mr. Garcia, I know we've heard that you've received some materials. Are there redactions in those materials?
There are appropriate redactions. We'll be able to review the full materials. There'll be some opportunity to review the materials without some redactions from the committee staff and committee members that don't put any of the victims in harm's way.
Obviously.
But there are some, again, the reality about the materials, though, is there's nothing really with a small amount, a couple thousand pages of new information. And all the information was first given to right-wing influencers back in February, and then has been released to the public, whether it's been through the media or other ways. And so we can get the full files today. We know the DOJ has them. They're not answering our questions. We're asking, when are we getting the rest of the files? We get no response. And to clarify one thing, Ms. Gallen, I think it was said earlier by another member of the committee that we're somehow opposing this resolution, or we're not opposing anything. We want full disclosure. If the majority wants to put together a resolution to add to more disclosure, that's fine. But that resolution should in no way supplant the discharge petition or serve as some kind of distraction to not get the full Congress on record to release all the files.
Okay. I mean, I guess I was asking about the redactions because there's been reporting that under Attorney General Bondi, hundreds of FBI and DOJ man-hours have been dedicated to redacting all references to the president.
Please hit the three
So is there
dots
anything
at
to
the top
indicate that
right
the
corner and get the
materials
likes up,
received thus
please.
far contain some of those redactions?
So we believe that the materials that we've received so far there are redactions in there. We are reviewing some of those redactions currently. The team still is. But we believe that again, that a vast majority of those documents are actually not presenting any new information. And we do believe there are important and critical documents that we have not yet received from the DOJ that contain important information to this investigation, and we have yet to see those.
Do you have explanations for the redactions that you have seen thus far? Have those been provided by DOJ?
We do have some explanation of some of the redactions, but there are no documents in what we have been presented that are of concern as it relates to redactions.
I'm just concerned because that is one of the pieces of the Massey underlying legislation, which is that to the extent the DOJ turned over any materials, it would have to explain any redactions
right.
or claims of privilege or whatever.
But that's important, certainly in future documents. So
Yes.
as more documents come forward, ensuring that that is a piece of it is going to be important.
And I guess going back to this issue of Ghislaine Maxwell getting this cushy assignment, my understanding is that when she was moved to this new facility, that was against Bureau of Prison regulations, and someone higher up from the White House or the Attorney General's office would have had to excuse that normal
Facts.
Bureau of Prison rule.
That is
right?
correct.
Okay, that's what I thought. Okay, thank you. Anything else you want to add?
Just that I think that Republicans should join
Hi, Jerry.
Democrats on the oversight
Lock him
committee and
up.
others in demanding answers as to why Ghislaine Maxwell was moved and who gave the orders to move Ghislaine Maxwell. We still don't know that question, that answer.
I think that's an important part as well.
Yeah,
and,
we need to know.
Pleased to have been able to sign the discharge
wanna
petition
know.
before we came up for this hearing, so thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Scanlon. Mr. Norman, you're recognized.
Thank both of you for coming. You know, I think what's interesting about this hearing, Mr. Governor, you've been kind of very critical of everything that's been going on here and about you need answers, and some of it we do need answers on. But the biggest, and you said things were outrageous and whatnot, you're, confused. What I'm confused about, you were elected to Congress in 1997, 28 years. You were chairman of this committee, the Rules Committee,
Fire champ.
2019 to 23. Now, if this is all of a sudden so important, when you as chairman, you had every right to bring up everything we're talking about now. What do we hear from you? Crickets. So that's the big confusion I have. And Representative Comer, the thing about political grandstanding, that's all this is.
Well, I didn't
and I don't,
presidential
I'm,
campaign
hold on,
saying it was a
I'm not
release of
talking.
Epstein files.
If I've got the floor, I'll recognize you, but we're not going to talk over each other. Have some decency. This is an anti-Trump. You're asking all these questions.
You got it. I'm right, it is. He all in the Epstein files.
You didn't say one word. This is anti-Trump, and it's coming out for that. Mm-hmm. Let me ask you this: how many victims were interviewed today?
6.
And you think it's hundreds?
They said it was hundreds, like close to 1,000, but hundreds. That's what the attorneys for the victim the attorneys were represented by 4. The victims were represented by 4 attorneys, and they said as many as 1,000.
Well, the process is moving forward.
Right.
We all know the discharge petition. I don't mind having 2 tracks, but bottom line is, Mr. Governor knows it has to go to the Senate. I don't know what they'll do with it, but it's going to take time. You're not waiting on anything.
No.
You're moving forward.
We're moving forward.
And like Chairman Fox said, everything's going to get released. Now, let me ask you this. Are the flight logs public information? Who flew on the planes?
Okay. Some are, but the estate subpoena should cover more of that.
We all know anybody how far back with the flight logs? You can alter a flight log on an air. If you're flying on a plane, you can't.
Back to 1990.
Okay, 1990. We know people that were on that flight weren't going over there to have Bible studies.
Right.
They were doing other things. So we'll see, is your opinion, all the flight logs of whoever went, doesn't matter.
Right.
That will be released.
Yeah. I mean, I want to know. I think everybody wants to know.
You hit it on the head, James. I mean, people want to know the names.
Yeah.
If a crime has been committed against thousands of women, young girls, this transcends politics. That's why I don't understand. The fact that you're politicizing this is not right. This transcends. This is young girls getting abused. So the fact that the flight logs will be released, we'll know the names of who flew over there. And then the public, I think that's the big name. If crimes have been committed, who did it?
Right.
And then let them face a trial, let
Absolutely.
them face a jury of peers. Now, I think Ms. Scanlon said the redactions by Attorney General Bondi contained things with President Trump. Now, what did you say, Representative Garcia? That was not right. Correct.
I think, well, first, to be clear, I think the Attorney General herself has said that President Trump is in the Epstein files, to be clear. That's been reported. And as far as what redactions include the president, we don't have the file.
Y'all, I need for y'all to hit the like button, please.
To know what those redactions actually are.
But when you get the files, y'all, both of you will ask the question, why were they redacted? Who did it? And as far as who put Miss Maxwell in another prison, I assume that will come forward.
Well, and to be clear, our request has been to redact the names of the victims. There shouldn't be circumstances, nor would we support redacting the names of the perpetrators or anyone that actually committed the harm. And so that would not be our expectation. And so we think the full release of the files is important to check that work, of course.
Okay. So so it's not, nothing with President Trump has been redacted to your knowledge?
Yes, it has.
So far.
If anything with President Trump's name has been redacted, it has not been, it's not something that's been in anything, it's not any new information. Okay. So that has not been presented to the public.
So this just further illustrates this is just a hatred of a president who has got support of 77 million people.
I mean, sir, it's the president that actually campaigned on releasing the full files when he was running. I mean, he had made this the central issue of one of the central issues of his campaign.
Aside from that, you had 4 years.
Besides of that,
he was chairman of a committee. He could have brought it up.
Oh my God! Oh my God!
So if all of a sudden the interest, to be honest, I'm glad it's coming out now. It's been a lot.
We can't tell.
Ghislaine Maxwell, the death of I don't know when did Epstein die?
2019.
We cannot tell that you happy.
Over the 20 years of this. Well, thank you for what you're doing. I think that the public needs to know, as they do on most everything. There are a lot of questions of the government involvement in the shooting of President Trump. I mean, that's going to come out at some point. Not only Pennsylvania, but the golf course. So, is there anything you want to add to what Mr. Garcia or any?
No, I just think that, the subpoena covers everything. I mean, if there are flight logs with the estate, that'll fall under the subpoena.
Then it shouldn't have all those redactions.
Why Maxwell was moved from Florida to Texas.
It ain't in there.
Fall under the DOJ subpoena. So we are moving forward, and the Department of Justice has been working with us to turn over those documents. It takes a long time.
It's 113 people in here now. It was more. I only have 50 likes. Get the likes up. Or leave. That's a good option for you. If you don't want to be here, don't want to hit the like button, don't want to support the platform, then just go ahead and leave. I'm cool with that.
Mr. Garcia?
Yeah, I mean, look, let's be really clear. First of all, Democrats on the committee, we did not support moving Ghislaine Maxwell's testimony after the Supreme Court heard her appeal. In fact, that was a decision that the majority made that we did not support. We think that Ms. Maxwell, before she was interviewed by Donald Trump's former personal lawyer, should have been in front of a bipartisan committee in a deposition. And so, to be clear, and I think it's safe to say that it's an outrage and shameful that Ghislaine Maxwell was moved to a facility where she is now more comfortable and has more access to folks both on the outside and her ability to move freely when she has victimized over hundreds and hundreds of women. And I'll add one more thing to that. We've written to the DOJ, the Federal Bureau of Prisons, demanding answers, yet no response from the Attorney General. We have no idea why she was moved and at whose direction was she moved to that facility.
But she was moved, I mean, and correct me if I'm wrong, by this current administration, right?
Absolutely. I mean,
I would think that, you know, I mean, this is so outrageous that
Don't start stumbling.
a big part of the investigation of your oversight committee should be on that as well. And I mean, I hope that you pursue that. But again, I think it is imperative that we pass the Massey kind of bill, because I think it does have the force of law, and because I don't trust this administration to basically. I mean, something's going on here. I don't know what, but there's a reason why everybody went from we're going to release the files one day to the next day saying we're not. So in the spirit of full transparency, in the spirit of demanding that they do what they said they were going to do, I think I think we need to do more than what we're doing. Mr. Comer?
Yeah, I was just told by counsel, the documents pertaining to the move would fall under the Department of Justice subpoena. So I think that's a fair question that I'm confident if we don't ask it, Mr. Garcia will whenever we're.
Yeah, I'll tell you, this whole episode has been outrageous and it's disgusting, and it's been strong.
Look at what I found.
What is it?
It's the sheet we used to manage travel on before Navon.
OMG, we were so sweet setting up.
Just accepted as fact by both his detractors. If you have heard about William Sash O'Reilly, then your curiosity about the rumors that Donald Trump wears diapers has quite likely been reignited. I'm going to examine these rumors and the timeline around Sash O'Reilly's allegations, and I'm going to reveal some pretty interesting alignments. The rumor that Donald Trump wears diapers has circulated widely for years. In fact, the entire notion is pretty much just accepted as fact by both his detractors and his supporters. His critics often refer to Donald Trump as dumpy pants, Shitler, and Von Schitz's pants, while his enthusiastic base will loudly proclaim real men wear diapers, dumpy pants, Shitler, and Von Schitz's pants, while his enthusiastic base will loudly proclaim real men wear diapers, or diapers over Dem, and Von Schitz's pants. Is pretty much just accepted as fact by both his detractors and his supporters. His critics often refer to Donald Trump as dumpy pants, Shitler, and Von Schitz's pants, while his enthusiastic base will loudly proclaim real men wear diapers, or diapers over Dems. While neither Donald Trump nor anyone in his official circle have divulged any information or made any statements
diapers
about
over
Trump's
nothing.
alleged incontinence,
Diapers up for
Noel
babies.
Kassler, a comedian who worked as a talent wrangler on Celebrity Apprentice for 6 seasons, has
Diapers up for
publicly
babies.
alleged on numerous occasions that Donald Trump wore diapers during the production of the show. Take a look at this.
The diapers is not a joke. It depends. You know, Diaper Don is trending, but it's based in reality. He would often soil himself on the Apprentice set. He's incontinent from all
Diaper
the
Don.
speed, all the
Shitty boo-boo.
Adderall he does, the cocaine that he's done for decades. You know, all that stuff has a laxative, and it has an effect on your bowels. And his are uncontrollable. He's
Oh, I
worn
got one.
diapers
I got
since
one.
probably
Let
the
me type
90s, but
it.
I saw it firsthand in the 2000s on Celebrity Apprentice in late 2000s, and we'd have to stop the show and change him, you know, and that was Keith
Change
Schiller's
him.
job. He
Oh
would
my
take him off
God.
set, he would wipe him down. Our nickname for Keith was Wet Wipes. It's not a joke. It's happened
Shitler.
several times.
That's funny.
And you've seen it happen while he's in office. You've seen he was in the Oval Office with Erdogan, and you could clearly hear him sort of evacuating himself.
Oh
He did
my
it in front
God.
of Senator Feinstein, Dianne Feinstein, at a press conference. So he does it, and he almost sits there like and unaware of it, you know. And one time I saw Ivanka have to go kind of whisper in his ear, and then
Like
Pete
a
came
like a
and took him
baby.
off stage. He'll also do it in a rage, and this is where it gets really drug related. He'll start to freak out. You know, one time there was the word arbitrage on a cue card, and he started screaming that the script department was setting him up. You're setting me up, and he just freaked out, and then very loudly evacuated his bowels, and you could smell it, you know, and the guy who was holding the boom mic, you know, was tearing up. So that's where the nickname, the SHIT show came from. That was the crew nickname for Celebrity Apprentice. So when you hear Diaper Don, it's not a joke. He tries to hide it. I'll give you one more fact. If you look up the video of him when he was doing the WWF thing, he tackles a guy on the ground outside of the ring, and you can clearly see the outline of the Depends in his pants. And that was back in the early 90s. So he's lost control of his bowels. He's lost control of his brain.
Muddy waters.
That's who he is. Diaper
There
Don.
go my boo.
As you just heard, Mr. Kassler mentioned a staged WWF
there-
fight, which I am
there
assuming
goes
is
my
the one illustrated in the following short clip.
It's Trump, the thumper.
Oh, back that
Illustrated in the following short clip.
back that thing up.
It's Trump, the thumper.
Get off.
Changed the
Get off of it. I'm sorry, I messed up. Hold on. Hit the like button.
entire tone and context of the Donald.
Diaper Don, it's not a joke. He tries to hide it. I'll give you one more fact.
In the following short clip.
It's Trump, the thumper.
I think you can probably see what Mr. Kassler is talking about. To summarize, Noel Kassler has claimed that Donald Trump is profoundly incontinent due to what he believes to be past stimulant abuse, including Adderall, speed, and cocaine. And as a result, Donald Trump would wear both adult diapers and a girdle. Kassler also alleged that Trump would sometimes soil himself on set after flying into a rage. Kassler began making these claims around 2019, 2020, breaking a non-disclosure agreement in order to do so. A key argument often cited by those who believe Kassler's claims of Trump's incontinence is the fact that Donald Trump has never sued Kassler for defamation, despite Donald Trump's well-established history of filing lawsuits over similar matters. Fast forward to January of 2026, and we see allegations exploding on social media that have completely changed the entire tone and context of the Donald Trump diaper debate. Changing the discussion from a topic of sarcastic ridicule to an issue rife with the very darkest of implications. You see a set of interviews featuring an individual by the name of William Sasha Riley started to go viral over the past couple of weeks. And the story that Sasha tells suggests what may be a very different explanation for Donald Trump's alleged incontinence. I'm going to play a brief excerpt from the first of 6 interviews conducted between Lisa Noel Volding and William Sasha Riley, originally posted on Lisa Volding's Substack account. I must warn you, however, that the content of this excerpt is both highly graphic and very disturbing.
And at one point, well, I kind of acquiesced to whatever sexual things that he wanted to do, but at some point, he wanted me to have sex with him. So he laid down on his stomach, and there was a wooden tent stake that was in the room, and I had been eyeballing it as a weapon. And what I did was put the condom on the wooden tent stake, put it inside of him, and I kicked it as hard as I could. And that's why he had to get life flighted out, because I ripped him open.
As you can probably deduce, the account that Sasha Riley tells suggests what might be an entirely different explanation for Donald Trump's alleged incontinence. But it is also one that would be medically verifiable, if those medical records were available. Now, I'm certainly not a medical doctor, but I did pose a simple query to Google AI. I asked, what is more likely to be the cause of permanent fecal incontinence? A traumatic injury to the colorectal system or prolonged use of Adderall, speed, or cocaine? Here is the response I got from Google's AI overview. A traumatic injury to the colorectal system is far more likely to be the cause of permanent fecal incontinence than the prolonged use of Adderall, speed, amphetamines, or cocaine. While stimulants can cause acute gastrointestinal distress or severe temporary issues, direct traumatic damage to the anal sphincters or the nerves governing them is a primary recognized cause of long-term permanent fecal incontinence. So then this is the point where we need to start paying very close attention, not only to Sasha Riley's account of what allegedly transpired between Sasha and Donald Trump at that farmhouse back in the mid-1980s, but also to timelines. Given the timeline, we can deduce that the alleged injury to Donald Trump's colorectal system occurred at some point in 1985 or 1986. Right around when William Sasha Riley was 12 to 13 years old. Naturally, everyone is curious about Donald Trump's medical records from that period of time. Now, the man who served as Donald Trump's personal physician during the time when the injury with the tent stake allegedly occurred was Dr. Harold Bornstein. And yes, Dr. Bornstein did indeed have a specialist in both internal medicine and gastroenterology. Dr. Bornstein's medical practice identified him as a gastroenterologist. Occurred was Dr. Harold Bornstein, and yes, Dr. Bornstein did indeed have a specialist in both internal medicine and gastroenterology. Dr. Bornstein's medical practice identified him as a gastroenterologist, not as a family physician. However, this is the part that threw me for a while. You see, it is widely reported that Dr. Bornstein served as Donald Trump's personal physician from 1980 until 2017. That timeline just didn't add up. It seemed highly coincidental that Donald Trump's personal physician just happened to have a specialist in gastroenterology. Yet, the 1980 starting date was 5 to 6 years before the traumatic injury is alleged to have occurred. The 1980 starting date was problematic, but as someone who has performed research for decades, I was well aware of the fact that an incorrect assertion or attribution can proliferate far and you just need one source to get it wrong, and the incorrect claim will get repeated, and then it will become reinforced by the fact that it is so often repeated. So I kept looking. I found where the 1980 starting date came from. It came from the very letter that Dr. Bornstein wrote in 2015, attesting to Trump's astonishingly excellent health. That was the infamous letter that included the oft-quoted line, "If elected, Mr. Trump, I can state unequivocally, will be the healthiest individual ever elected to the presidency." Let me ask you this. Does that braggadocious, hyperbolic writing style sound familiar to you? If you're thinking that sounds exactly like something Donald Trump would say, well, you're probably right. In May of 2018, CNN reporters coaxed an admission out of Dr. Bornstein. Dr. Bornstein said this of Donald Trump. He dictated that whole letter. I didn't write that letter. In that now infamous letter, Donald Trump appears to have not only misled the public about the state of his
busted again.
Write that letter. In that now infamous letter, Donald Trump appears to have not only misled the public about the state of his astonishingly excellent health, he also seems to have misled the public about the timeline for when he started as Dr. Bornstein's patient. The letter starts off, "I have been the personal physician of Mr. Donald J. Trump since 1980. The letter also states that Trump's previous physician was Harold Bornstein's father, Dr. Jacob Bornstein. It goes on to say that, over the past 39 years, I am pleased to report that Mr. Trump has had no significant medical problems. 39 years before 2015 was 1976. That means Trump would have started to see Dr. Jacob Bornstein, the gastroenterologist, when he was just 30 years old.
Shitler.
That all seemed more than a little suspicious to me.
He deserved every inch of that wooden stake.
Finally, I found clarification for when Donald Trump became Dr. Harold Bornstein's patient. Fortunately, this clarification comes directly from Dr. Bornstein himself. On September 1st of 2016, shortly after Dr. Bornstein wrote the highly controversial letter attesting to Donald Trump's
he came up missing
directly from Dr. Bornstein himself. On September 1st of 2016, shortly after Dr. Bornstein wrote the highly controversial letter attesting to Donald Trump's astonishingly excellent health,
I need for y'all to get the likes up. Quickly. Expeditiously. Hit those 3 dots at the top right corner. Find the thumbs up on your device. If you don't see it, then double tap the face of your phone. I'm waiting for y'all to get the likes up.
Bornstein sat for a short, impromptu interview with reporters from CNN. The interview was unplanned, unscripted, and in the final moments of that interview, for a short, impromptu interview with reporters from CNN. The interview was unplanned, unscripted, and in the final moments of that interview, Dr. Bornstein let something slip that would become a critical piece of evidence today, an entire decade later. Dr. Bornstein provided a clear and unequivocal timeline for when Donald Trump became his patient. Now bear in mind that this interview occurred in 2016 as you listen carefully to what Dr. Bornstein says right here.
I grew up in Jamaica, New York. They lived across the street. My mother found him as a patient from a member of his golf club, and he stayed for 30 years.
And then, as he warned, his wife arrived.
You're done.
You're done. You're done. You're on private property, and we're going to call the police. We're going to call the. I'm going to call the police.
I appreciate you, doctor.
Suddenly, the timeline fits perfectly. When William Sasha Riley was 13 years old, Sasha claims that in the process of being sexually abused by Donald Trump, Sasha inflicted a serious injury to Donald Trump's colorectal system, one that required Trump to be, and I quote, life-flighted out. That incident allegedly occurred in 1986. In 2016, Dr. Bornstein, in an unplanned interview, let slip the fact that Donald Trump had been his patient not for 39 years, and not even for 35 years for that matter, but for 30 years. 30 years prior to 2016 is 1986. The dates of the alleged injury and of Donald Trump, starting with Dr. Harold Bornstein, a gastroenterologist, line up perfectly. I also want to point out another critical piece of information that Dr. Harold Bornstein let slip in that impromptu interview. He clarified that he had worked with his father at their gastroenterology clinic for 35 years.
The only thing I wanted to do in my life was practice with my father, which I managed to do for 35 years till his death in this office. Which I managed to do for 35 years till his death in this office.
He said this in the same interview wherein he said that Donald Trump had been his patient for 30 years, showing that Harold Bornstein was very clear in making the distinction between how long he had worked at the clinic and how long Donald Trump had been his patient. There was a 5 to 6 year difference. Dr. Bornstein was very clear on that point. 5 months after that interview, in February of 2017, Dr. Harold Bornstein's office was raided by Donald Trump's longtime bodyguard, Keith Schiller, who was also the White House director of Oval Office operations at that time. You may recall Noel Casler mentioning Keith Schiller in his account of what occurred on the set of Celebrity Apprentice.
You know, and that was Keith Schiller's job. He would take him off set, he would wipe him down. Our nickname for Keith was Wet Wipes.
According to Dr. Bornstein, during the raid on his office, Schiller was accompanied by a Trump Organization lawyer and another large man who entered the office and took all of Donald Trump's medical files, including original reports and lab results. Bornstein described the encounter as a raid that left him feeling raped, frightened, and sad. He noted that the men were in his office for about 25 to 30 minutes, created chaos, and even told him to remove a photo of him and Donald Trump from his wall. Then White House Press Secretary Sarah Huckabee Sanders denied the event was a raid, characterizing it as standard operating procedure to have the White House medical unit take possession of a new president's records. I will let you know that retrieval of medical files from the personal physicians of new presidents is not any form of standard procedure. And this incident with Dr. Harold Bornstein in 2017 is the only known occasion of such an event occurring. 4 years after the raid on his office, Dr. Harold Bornstein would join a growing list of unfortunate individuals. Individuals who had the potential of providing highly incriminating evidence against Donald Trump, who then die suddenly and unexpectedly, often of apparent suicide. That list includes Jeffrey Epstein, Jean-Luc Brunel, Ivana Trump, Virginia Guthrie, and Dusty Ray Duke. Dr. Harold Bornstein, who had served as Donald Trump's personal physician for 3 decades, died suddenly and mysteriously on January 8, 2021. The cause of death has never been revealed.
So you don't need a prescription. Naloxone, which treats opioid, is one of those drugs. And we're being proactive with synthetic 7-OH, a new opioid that's showing up. And we're working with the DOJ on addressing that because chemists are coming up with new opioids faster than the government has been able to keep up. We're going proactive on these new chemicals.
That's good. No, I hear fantastic things. Thank you all very much. We really appreciate it a lot. Thank you, Oz. He's doing a fantastic job. Thank you all very much. I appreciate it. Thank you, please. Thank you.
Mr. President, can you respond to the new Fox?
Ooh, her nose, her nose. Ooh, Lord, what's that smell? She said, oh, Lord, oh, Lord. I just got a whiff of that shit right there. Oh, Lord, Lord. What was that? What in the world was that? What was that? What?
Has been able to keep up. We're going proactive on these new chemicals.
That's good. No, I hear fantastic things.
What's that?
Thank you all very much. We really appreciate it a lot. Thank you, Oz. He's doing a fantastic job. Thank you all very much. I appreciate it. Thank you, please. Thank you.
Mr. President, can you respond to the new Fox poll that says people think ISIS and tactics are
He just shitted on himself. Oh my God. Did you smell that shit? Oh Lord. Breathe. I want it in my nose. Lord, what the fuck was that? What the fuck was that? What the fuck was that? Boom, what the fuck was that? What the fuck was that? Funky shit. Whoa! Funky, wonky, wonky, wonky. Funky, wonky, wonky, wonky. Y'all hit the like button. Funky, wonky, wonky, wonky. Funky, wonky, wonky, wonky. He's funky. He's funky. Woo! Funky, wonky. The funky, wonky. I wonder how long will it take to get back to some normalcy after shit finally gone. Oh, it's gonna take a minute, baby. We have been disrupted and disturbed. That is for sure a bomb. Now he bombing. We ain't falling for none of that. Release the full Epstein files. Release the full Epstein files. And let that woman go. I am absolutely convinced that he has something to do with that woman being taken up out of her home.
Get started with Finn for Zendesk today. Try Finn risk-free. At Raising Cane's, we focus on making the most crazy
breathing through her eyes.
getting them right every time.
The Low Point, hosted by Shantae Lowe, sponsored by Novartis on Players TV.
Oh no, Shanta. Never mind, baby girl. Hold on, y'all.
We've seen them refuse to investigate an ICE agent who clearly shot and killed a woman at point blank. We've seen them fire line attorneys who refuse to go along with indictments that they describe as political and illegal. Now, the closest comparison to this particular criminal contempt case is Steve Bannon. And there's well-established precedent here. Steve Bannon refused to answer, saying he would only answer questions from this committee if Trump told him to do so. That wasn't like delaying or obfuscating. That is willful defiance. And that's what the courts found, and that's why he went to jail. And again, while I think that the Clintons should be here, what we're proposing here is a very serious matter, bringing criminal charges against a former president of the United States. And I listened to you very carefully, Chair Comer, for the last hour, and I heard you describe them as delaying, as dragging their feet, negotiating for 5 months. But I never once heard you say they just outright refused. There are lesser things we can do, including civil contempt. And I don't need that. And I also want to point out that on November 14th, and I want to ask unanimous consent to enter this into the record, Donald Trump wrote a Truth Social post in which he demanded that the Republicans go after Bill Clinton, Reid Hoffman, Larry Summers in relation to Epstein. Later that day, Pam Bondi announced that they would be bringing investigations. And now that we saw later that this committee brought
have to head back to Capitol Hill as we're hearing from Representative Comer speaking after there he was holding that meetings on holding the Clintons in contempt. Let's listen in.
All of the Epstein files it's supposed to?
It's my understanding the Attorney General is going to turn over all the documents once they're redacted. Now, we have seen the Attorney General comply with our subpoena. They have turned over documents, as I said numerous times today, and I've said numerous times on most of the networks that are here today. We would like for the pace to pick up. We want to get the documents. We're not going to let her off the hook, but from a legal standpoint, she is complying with the law, and we expect to get the documents very soon.
In addition to your subpoena, though, are you concerned that she has not complied with?
No, with my subpoena, she's complied. She's turning over documents again.
But also the Epstein files.
Well, the Epstein Files Transparency Act is a Judiciary Committee thing. They put a date on it. She's going to be in front of the Judiciary Committee in 2 weeks, and I think that's the important thing with what the Democrats were trying to say today about Bondi. And look, no one on our side is defending Bondi. Let me be very clear. No one on our side is defending Bondi. But we have to recognize there are a lot of documents. They produced documents, I think, on 2 different document drops. The first one, the Democrats complained there were not enough redactions. In the second drop, they complained there were too many redactions. So, ever how many pages, we've heard numbers range from several 100,000 to several million pages of document. That's a lot of eyes that are going to have to be over it and review it to try to make the redactions, because the victims have made it clear to us that they want anything pertaining to their privacy redacted. And that's the impression I'm under that the Department of Justice is trying to do.
Mr. Chairman, is it important, is there still an opportunity for the Clintons to negotiate some sort of satisfaction of the subpoena, even though you've taken the step with contempt?
There's always an opportunity. It's going to be 2 weeks before this is on the floor. We're going to have to notice this is going to be treated like any other bill. We're making sure every I is dotted and every T is crossed, because they have a very expensive legal team. So obviously, there are going to be a couple of more days this week, depending on the weather. Then there'll be 3 days notice. and then we can vote on it. I've been assured we're going to vote on it. So that's 2 weeks because we're going to be off a week. They're going to have 2 weeks that they're going to theoretically be able to negotiate. But one thing that I want to make very clear, a lot of what the Democrats were saying today, and I'm not accusing the Democrats on the committee of lying. I'm accusing the lawyers for the Clintons of not being truthful. They were not in good faith negotiating. They never made a proposal where there would be an actual transcript. And I don't think anyone in the media would accept any type of interview without a transcript. Then you're going to have notes, and it's going to be Clinton's word against my word, Garcia's word against my word. That's no good. You know, there should be a recorded, at the very least, transcript, if not audio and video. I would argue all three of the deposition. That is the law. That is what is considered legal in court, and I don't think anyone in the media would argue against that. So, yes.
Thank you, Chairman Comer. What specific steps will oversight Republicans take to ensure that the Clintons are not treated differently than others who have been held in contempt of Congress, like Steve Bannon and Peter Navarro?
Well, the process will be once it goes on the full House floor, and I expect a lot of Democrats to vote on this on the floor. And then it'll be delivered to the Department of Justice, and I think that question then can be asked to the Attorney General.
Mr. Chairman, the argument from the Clintons was that they had provided sworn declarations when they received the subpoena and were asked to testify. They argue that other folks who were asked to testify, you accepted the sworn declarations, but you wouldn't accept it as feasible for them. Why weren't the sworn declarations enough for the Clintons?
Because the people that we accepted the sworn depositions from, they replied that they had no relationship and they weren't directly involved in the Epstein investigation. There are no pictures of Merrick Garland or James Comey or Eric Holder who are Democrats, I might add, and Jeff Sessions, who's a Republican. Those were the four that we accepted the declarations from. There's no evidence that anyone's seen, no pictures anyone's seen of them with Epstein or Maxwell, nor is there any evidence that they were directly involved in the investigation. Now, if we find out those declarations are false, then they've committed perjury, and they know that. So they complied with our subpoena. And again, there was no evidence. And remember, let's be very clear here. This all came about from a subcommittee hearing in this room where Democrats made a motion, Summer Lee, to subpoena the Epstein files, and then Scott Perry made an amendment and put all these names on it, and everyone voted for it. That's how the whole Epstein investigation was born in the Oversight Committee, and that's where the names came from, Bill Clinton, Hillary Clinton.
Hit the like button. Hit the like button. Hit the three dots at the top right. Y'all are coming in, but you're not hitting the like button. Double tap the face of your phone or exit. It's just that simple, okay? Respectfully. You want me to waste my time, but you don't want to hit the link. Wrong answer. Get the likes up. Hey, Big L.
Everyone besides the Clintons have complied, and 2 Republicans actually sat down for hard.
No, everybody has not. Trump has not complied.
Hitting depositions. You could look at the transcripts with Barr and Acosta, and the Republicans weren't any less confrontational with their questioning than the Democrats. We are sincere. We want to know the answers. We want to get the truth to the American people. We expect Pam Bondi and the Department of Justice to deliver the documents, and we hope that people are finally held accountable for crimes. And we want to know why did the government drop the ball for the victims, and how can this be prevented in the future?
When do you expect Pam Bondi to release those documents? It's been more than a month since the statutory deadline, and there have only been 2 drops of documents. You say you're confident the Attorney General will comply. When do you expect the full documents to be out, and is there a deadline by which you expect her to produce the documents, or else you would pursue something like contempt?
I was hoping the documents would be dropped today, or whatever they've redacted thus far. I would be shocked if some of the documents aren't dropped before her testimony for the Judiciary Committee. You're all going to be there. And that was another argument when the Democrats were coming back with Bondi. She's coming in front of Congress. Hell, she's coming for the Judiciary Committee because, among other things, the discharge petition is a judiciary jurisdiction. So if we're not satisfied with testimony from judiciary, I could see a scenario where we ask her to come in front of the oversight. We're serious about getting the documents. This isn't political. Remember, one of the things that I said in this hearing today, one of the first demands from I shouldn't say demands, one of the first requests from the victims when we met privately, Republicans and Democrats, for 2 hours, is subpoena the estate. I did that. I had no idea what was going to be in those documents. It could have been very damaging to Republicans. It could have been very damaging to very important people. I had no idea. We want the truth. No one on my committee said, don't subpoena the estate. We want it. Everyone voted for the discharge petition except for one. We want the documents. We want to get answers. We want to hold people accountable, and we're not protecting anyone who committed any crimes.
Given the point you made about the photos and the personal relationship that former President Clinton had with Jeffrey Epstein, should President Trump also be subpoenaed because he had a personal relationship with Epstein?
Well, obviously, President Trump's answered a lot of questions, and I'm looking around the room, and many of you have asked President Trump questions about Epstein, and I'm confident President Trump's going to have to answer more questions from you all. You're very curious.
Under oath by your committee.
Well, there's never been a sitting president come under oath in an oversight committee hearing, but we'll see what how this plays out. We want to get the truth, and look, I'll go back to what Bill Barr said, who I don't think anyone would argue is a big fan of President Trump. He said under oath in the deposition that he believed that if there had been anything damaging about Donald Trump in the Epstein files, that it would have been released before the election.
Were you surprised by some of the Democrats who voted for this?
I was not. I've always hopeful that some Democrats would vote for it. Look, when we were in that meeting with the victims, there were some Democrats, and they were the ones that voted in favor of holding the Clintons in contempt. They were sincere about wanting to get the truth, and they were sincere that they didn't care if the victimizers were Democrats. They didn't care who they were. They wanted to provide accountability and get some justice for the victims. So I felt like in my heart there would be Democrats vote for it, and I'm very, very proud of the ones who did. And I might add, more Democrats voted for this than against it.
And what about the concern?
An IQ of 85 to 115 is considered average in the U.S. And
concern about setting a bad precedent here of having a former president come in, regardless of the circumstances, regardless of what you think that you need him for, but the idea that that goes down a very slippery slope. When we've had the Supreme Court rule that the current president is immune from any type of prosecution, and you're going to drag a former president in here, conceivably.
Well, look, this was voted on by the Democrats as well in the committee.
But the concern about the precedent.
Well, look, I mean, no one's above the law, Chad, and there are a lot of questions about the numerous visits that Epstein had to the White House when Clinton was president. There are numerous questions about the number of times that President Clinton flew the post-presidency on Epstein's plane. Again, no one's accused Bill Clinton of any wrongdoing, but we have a lot of questions. And to my knowledge, he's never sat down with any of you and answered any questions. So hopefully someday we'll know the truth.
Mr. Chairman, just
go ahead. I've answered a bunch. Go ahead.
What do you think about Congressman?
Yeah, some people vote present on things. I don't know. I don't even know why that's a thing. I don't think I've ever voted present other than when we do the roll call vote. But, I guess present's better than voting no. I don't. Go, Annie.
Two things. You just were, when we were talking about President Trump, you said, we'll see how this plays out in terms of whether he would be involved in this investigation. So are you not ruling out that you might need to talk to President Trump?
We're going to talk to, we're going to talk, look, everything, I've said this publicly many times, there's nothing that I've seen that implicates President Trump. When we met with those victims, I think it's just very public, there were several Democrats that made very clear to ask the victims if they ever saw President Trump do anything wrong, and every one of them said no, they never saw. The only thing they said was they knew, one said that they heard Jeffrey Epstein say he was friends with President Trump, which...
Are y'all not reading the Epstein files?
A lot of evidence of any wrongdoing.
They act like they're not reading the Epstein files.
Said if there had been any evidence of wrongdoing by President Trump, that would come out. But look, as the documents come in and more evidence is revealed, then we'll go from there. No one's above the law, and we're not gonna leave any box unchecked. I'll answer one more question.
Do you think that Bill Clinton's history and Monica Lewinsky...
Are they not reading the Epstein files, y'all?
I don't know.
But that is well known about him.
Yeah, I don't know. Trying to stay... Look, one of the things that I think it wasn't men, I can't remember, one of the Democrat members said, well, the lawyer said you wouldn't agree to have the scope just about the Epstein. That's not true. We've always just cared about the Epstein stuff, and that's what we did in the Biden investigation. We didn't bring Hunter Biden in and ask about the stuff on the laptop other than the money. That's what our investigation was about, influence peddling. We never veered into the salacious stuff on the laptop, and that's the same with this. We're not going to go back in history on any sins or wrongdoing that Clinton may have, committed in the past. It's all Epstein related. We want to know what anyone that spent a lot of time with Epstein, what they knew, if they saw anything, if they can help us, point us in a direction. We have no idea how Epstein made his money. We have no idea where that
Trump knows
accumulated so much wealth. Remember, his estate's worth $750 million. So there's just so many questions.
Ask Trump.
That's what our question of Bill Clinton would have been about had he complied with the subpoena. I'll answer your question. I'll leave.
Thank you, Chairman Comer. I wanted to ask about the Peter Navarro and Steve Bannon situation, because there have been some conservatives saying they think it's a double standard. I've heard other legal arguments that the circumstances of those cases is different than the one for the Clintons.
Yeah. Well, look,
it is.
I guess it goes to whether you believe the January 6th committee was a legitimate committee or not. Some people believe it was a legitimate committee. Some people don't. The reason some don't, and I fall in the category that I don't, is this committee, statutory committee, the Democrats appoint who they want on the committee. I don't say, no, I don't like Jared Moskowitz. He can't be on the committee. If Hakeem Jeffries or whoever's in charge of the
Can we get the lights up?
Democrats I don't like on the committee.
Can y'all help me reach my goal?
So
I mean,
the January 6th committee, when Kevin McCarthy appointed members of the committee, Nancy Pelosi said, no, I don't like Jim Banks, I don't like Jim Jordan, we're not going to have them on the committee, and that tainted it from the start. But regardless, if you are in the school of thought that it's a legitimate committee, they were issued a subpoena and they didn't comply with the subpoena. So look, I think the law is very clear. When you're issued a congressional subpoena, you need to comply with that subpoena. And the last thing I'll say before I leave, there was a point in debate back and forth with Mr. Garcia and I. If you look at the letter that Bill and Hillary Clinton sent me, one of the things they said when they were attacking me was, this is an unlawful subpoena. I asked Mr. Garcia, do you agree with the Clintons that this is an unlawful subpoena? And he said, no, sir, that's a lawful subpoena. So that right there, I think, hurt the entire argument that the Clintons had. And I think the Clintons probably are thinking more about how they can get out of this today than they were for the last 5 months because the court of public opinion is not on the Clinton side. And I think that's one reason some of the Democrats, not all, some of the Democrats crossed over. The American people want to hear from anyone and everyone who has any knowledge about Epstein and Maxwell and any potential wrongdoing. And remember, there's also a legislative purpose in this. We want to see if there's anything we can do to pass any type of legislation to further prevent sex trafficking or identify sex traffickers or be able to apprehend sex traffickers any sooner. So we've got a lot going on here, a congressional investigation, try to answer questions for the American people, as well as legislative intent to try to hopefully prevent terrible things like this from happening in the future. Thank you all for keeping up with this, and we'll keep you posted on any further communication or correspondence. Thank you all.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, this is why I switched to injection-free weight loss. I was eating healthy, working out every day, and nothing would budge. I've lost, I think, 22 or 23 pounds at this point.
I noticed that my weight was really starting to creep up, and I just wasn't happy with the way that I looked. I have lost around.
Get the likes up. An hour ago. Thank you, Monty. I'm finna
This
shut it
morning
down.
At 8:47 a.m. Eastern Time, United States Marshals. This morning at 8:47 a.m. Eastern Time, United States Marshals arrived at Mar-a-Lago with a court-ordered writ of execution to begin asset seizure proceedings. 3 federal marshals, a team of professional appraisers, local law enforcement backup.
So
All there.
let that lady
$550 million
mama go.
Paid civil judgments.
You ain't stopping shit.
Before you assume this is unprecedented political targeting, let me explain what a writ of execution actually is. It's a standard legal document issued by courts when someone loses a civil case, gets ordered to pay a judgment, exhausts all appeals, and still doesn't pay. At that point, the court authorizes law enforcement to seize assets and sell them to satisfy the debt. Here's where we are. February
So they
2024.
didn't meet their
A New
timeline.
York judge entered a civil fraud judgment for $355
They didn't meet their timeline. So let that boy, let that girl, mama
a separate
go.
defamation judgment for $83 million.
They said,
Combined total with 9 months.
do y'all know that they was asking for millions on that ransom?
It grows by $130,000 every single day. Appeals were filed. Appeals were denied.
Thank you.
The judgments are
Specs.
final. And when civil judgments become final and the defendant 2024, a separate defamation judgment for $83 million. Combined total with 9 months of interest,
83 million.
$512 million.
I want to hear how much the ransom letter was
by
for.
$130,000 every single day. Appeals were filed. Appeals were denied. The judgments are final. And when civil judgments become final and the defendant doesn't pay, this is what the law requires: asset seizure. Let me walk you through the timeline that brought federal marshals to the property this morning. I'll be tracking this seizure process through completion. Every filing, every asset valuation. If you want to follow the facts without the cable news spin, subscribe. February 16th, 2024. Judge Engoron enters judgment. $355 million in fraudulent gains must be returned, plus interest at 9% annually. March 8th. Federal jury awards $83.3 million in the Carroll defamation case. Combined total, $438 million owed. Within days, appeals are filed. But in New York, when you appeal a civil judgment, you must post a bond, typically 110% of the judgment. For $438 million in judgments, the bond requirement was $480 million. April 2024. The deadline passes. He posts $91 million for Carroll only. For the fraud judgment, nothing.
He asks the court to waive the bond requirement. The court denies the waiver. The law is clear. Post bond or the judgment can be enforced immediately. June. Judgment creditors file motions to authorize asset seizure. August 15th. The court rules. Without proper bonds,
Big Al, let me check.
enforcement may begin. Asset discovery is authorized. September through October. Creditors subpoena
Thank
banks
you.
and property records.
Thank you, Big Al.
They identify assets. Mar-a-Lago, Trump Tower, golf courses, bank accounts. Is authorized.
He didn't meet that deadline.
September through October. Creditors subpoena banks and property records. They identify assets. Mar-a-Lago.
Y'all, that's just why he's suing us, the Treasury and the IRS, because of those bank records exposed that he was a fraud and he lied and he mad because he can't get the money for the surety. So it's our fault. It's our fault that he defrauded, lied, stole, still stealing. It's our fault. So now he wants to sue. He wants to put his hand back in the... talk about double damn dipping. Talking about double taxing. Y'all want to know why I had that meltdown today? Because oh my God. I should have a right to my money. Do not be using my money for this man to continue to do this horrible shit. I don't care how much of it is. I was, oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. I was pissed. Oh. Now it's our fault that he defrauded the banks. It's the Attorney General's fault for finding the lie, and bringing his ass to court. And it's our fault, the jury of his peers, that found him guilty. It's our fault. He ain't do nothing wrong for fudging, lying, cheating, and stealing. He ain't do nothing wrong. It's our fault for catching it. Our fault for finding him guilty of it. It's our fault that the public records became public when the documents was unsealed. Thank you, Jack Smith, for getting it unsealed. It's our fault that we used our eyes to look at the facts. It's our fault. Now give me some money out the Treasury and the IRS. Because the IRS and the S should not have allowed the records to go before the judge and being exposed. It's our fault that his mama and daddy did a piss poor ass job, only taught him how to break the law, ill, steal, and destroy it like a devil would. Because that's exactly what's going on right now. And it's our fault. So up you with the same fork, knife, and steak that Sasha Riley used to feed that ass. How about
Creditors
that?
subpoena banks and property records. They identify assets. Mar-a-Lago, Trump Tower, golf courses, bank accounts.
And once you take over them golf courses, y'all make sure y'all dig that motherfucker up, so y'all can find those missing kids, adults, whoever, that body has never been found or discovered, so that the family can finally put their loved ones to rest. Because as far as I'm concerned right now, everybody that is missing, that is no longer alive, is on one of them golf courses. In, as they say, somebody's is in Zorro Ranch. all over the place. Wherever those ranches. Bill Riley, William Riley Sr. Yeah, your ass need to come forth too. You need to come before Congress. Sasha Riley's foster dad. All y'all, come the fuck out the closet. Man up. Put your big boy drawers on, pull-ups, diapers, wet wipes, all that shit. Put them on. Stand up. Stand in that mess that y'all created. Your secret society is no longer a secret. You have been exposed. It's been infiltrated. It has been infiltrated. Let's stand up in it.
Judgment creditors file motions to authorize asset seizure. August 15th. The court rules. Without proper bonds, enforcement may begin.
You're welcome, Angela.
Asset discovery
Kiddo.
is authorized.
Sick of this mess.
September through October. Creditors subpoena banks.
Absolutely, a sparkle.
They identify assets. Mar-a-Lago.
I'm sure.
Trump Tower.
I'm sure she was threatening to expose him, and she had a trip down the stairs. I'm almost sure that's how she ended up down there. Every time somebody is threatening to expose, and this is exactly why I feel like he had them ICE agents running there, bust through that girl's Savannah Guthrie's mama's house and drag her out, cause he was embarrassed, and it went viral when she called him out. Yes, Ivanka. No, Ivana. Her name was Ivana. Ivanka's mama. I'm almost sure she was gonna threaten. And she accidentally fell down the steps. Yeah, okay. All these people accidentally this, accidentally that, on a lie they self. Yeah, no.
Golf courses. Bank accounts. October 9th. The Appellate Division denies the fraud judgment appeal. No more state appeals available. October 23rd. Carroll judgment appeal deadline passes. No Supreme Court appeal filed. Both judgments are final. Total with interest, $512 million. November 1st. Creditors file for writs of execution in Florida and New York. November 7th. Florida court issues the writ for Mar-a-Lago. This morning, U.S. Marshals execute the writ. 9 months from judgment to seizure. At every step, post bond, pay, negotiate, liquidate voluntarily, the choice was delay. And delay has a cost. The debt grew by $41 million.
Delay has a cost.
Now let me show you what the marshals can actually seize under the law.
Delays have a cost. You played yourself with all these damn appeals. Putting it off. So now you can stop with all of these diversions.
U.S. Marshals execute the writ.
And again, I'm going to say, let Miss Nancy Guthrie go. Who in their right mind, unless it's cartel, go and pull somebody's mama and ask for millions to be paid in crypto by bitcoins. Pay me in cryptocurrency. Other than somebody who's trying to avoid paying taxes or avoid marked bills and all that type of shit. If no, somebody from the board on the other side, they're just gonna say, give me the money. Who else is that invested in cryptocurrency, bitcoins, but Trump? And asked him for millions and millions of dollars. I want to know how many million. Angela, no, baby, don't do that, because I don't want to block you. We over here don't care if it's AI or not, as long as it is telling us the truth. We care about the truth. We don't care about how they use or what they use to bring us the truth. You understand? If I was to just move this to the side and don't show who it is the message true or is it not the truth? So now, let's just do it like this.
9 months from judgment to seizure. At every step, post bond.
You have to have an ear to know if something is true or not, and not to just fall for anything. This man right here shows his face all the damn time. And all he does is lie. So explain that to me. For all these people who be saying, oh, that's AI. Okay, so what about the liars who lie straight up in your face? We watched yesterday. He said he not in the Epstein files. When somebody kept pressing him, he went back to that, oh, you're the worst. You're the worst. You CNN, oh, you're the worst. Yeah, the only time I think I was mentioned in the Epstein files is when Bannon and Epstein was trying to plot against me. He was lying, but it was him versus Jack Smith has chosen to allow AI to deliver the message. The message came from him. You could do the research. So y'all kill me with that. That makes me think that y'all come on now. I'm not trying to be rude, but I am so sick of that. Take what he's saying, do the research. Do the research. Instead of just saying, oh, it's AI. Trump lies to you every day. We just watched this man right here who is on the staff of Trump. Him. Lie. So what you saying? What are y'all saying when y'all say that? As long as they are really talking and not allowing AI. I mean, this is what y'all are voted for. Y'all wanted AI. What the hell you think Elon Musk is in Memphis for? AI. AI finna have your job. They planning to clone your ass into AI. What we doing? What are we doing? But he could sit there before the oversight committee or the whichever committee and bald-faced lie. And that's okay to you. No, it's not. We want the truth. However he chooses. However he chooses to allow us to know what's going on behind the scenes. That's his choice. And I choose to go and get it and dissect it and research it according to however he wants for us to get it. Now, I'm going to let you make it. But anybody, let me see, anybody other than Angela come in here talking about that AI shit, I'm going to remove you because you want to hang on to untruths. See, I don't like when somebody sit up bold-faced and lie in my face. And although, you know, he not right there in my face, that's how I take it. And it still gets up under my skin. So I don't care that somebody said it and they are, you know, movement and the right movements on time and, you know, it look like they in real time. Hell, a lot of times that don't really be Trump. That's that hologram shit. We gotta stay woke. And I don't like it when you lie in my face. I'd rather him have it programmed as long as it's the truth. Now, I'm finna carry on because I've said what I've had to say. Anybody other than Angela come up in here with that AI shit, get them out.
Both
Respectfully.
judgments are final. Total with interest, $512 million. November 1st. Creditors file for writs of execution in Florida and New York. November 7th. Florida court issues the writ for Mar-a-Lago. This morning, U.S. Marshals execute the writ. 9 months from judgment to seizure. At every step, post bond, pay, negotiate, liquidate voluntarily, the choice was delay. And delay has a cost.
Delay has a
grew
cost.
by $41 million during those 9 months. Now let me show you what the marshals can actually seize under the law. Florida law provides homestead exemption. Your primary residence cannot be seized to satisfy civil judgments. But is Mar-a-Lago a primary residence? The property is legally classified as a private club.
Yes.
It operates as a business with $200,000 initiation fee.
See how he tried to get over and listed Mar-a-Lago as a club instead of his primary residence. It's coming back to bite you. That's the truth. We wouldn't have known that. We would not have known that unless he let us know that. You understand? We, the people, would not have known that. Had however he chose for us to get the truth. However he chose, we would not have known that in Florida, that homestead, that they cannot seize a house. But because he put it as a club. Get that. Bring that to us. That belongs to us. Shit. Hey, I finna have your job. Hey, they trying to make it that your next boyfriend, girlfriend gonna be AI. She gonna do every and anything he wants you to do. They are trying to the Jetson us. George Jetson, was that his name? You flying around in space and shit. Jet mode, whatever that used to be. Yeah. So now, baby, I want to know the truth, baby, because we wouldn't have never known. So carry on. Come on.
Exemption. Your primary residence cannot be seized to satisfy civil judgments. Provides homestead exemption. Your primary residence cannot be seized to
Homestead
satisfy
exemptions
during those 9 months. Now let me show you what the marshals can actually seize under the law. Florida law provides homestead exemption.
Monty, only you catch it every time. Was that his name, George Jetson? I pulled that one out.
What the marshals can actually seize under the law. Florida law provides homestead exemption. Your primary residence cannot be seized to satisfy civil judgments. But is Mar-a-Lago a primary residence? The property is legally classified as a private club. It operates as a business with $200,000 initiation fees and $14,000 annual dues.
$200,000 initiation fees. Wow.
It operates as a business with $200,000 initiation fees and $14,000 annual dues. It hosts events and weddings. In 1993, he signed an agreement with Palm Beach converting Mar-a-Lago from a private residence to a private club. That agreement restricts living there to 21 days per year. Florida courts have ruled, if a property operates as a business, it's not protected by homestead exemption, even if the owner lives there part-time. Mar-a-Lago is a club that happens to have residential space. Under Florida precedent, that likely means no homestead protection. What can be seized? First, business assets. Club furniture, fixtures, kitchen equipment, vehicles, golf carts, inventory. All seizable. Private club. This with $200,000 initiation fees and $14,000 annual dues. It hosts events and weddings. In 1993, he signed an agreement with Palm Beach converting Mar-a-Lago from a private residence to a private club. That agreement restricts living there to 21 days per year. Florida courts have ruled, if a property operates as a business, it's not protected by homestead exemption, even if the owner lives there part-time. Mar-a-Lago is a club that happens to have residential space. Under Florida precedent, that likely means no homestead protection. What can be seized? First, business assets. Club furniture, fixtures, kitchen equipment, vehicles, golf carts, inventory. All seizable.
And that means
personal property.
Melania gonna have to pay rent.
Artwork in ballrooms and dining rooms. Antique furniture in common areas. If it's on commercial property, it's seizable. Reports suggest paintings worth millions displayed throughout Mar-a-Lago. If they're in club areas, they're seizable assets. Third, the real property itself, land and buildings. This requires additional proceedings and takes months or years. But if the court determines no homestead protection applies, the entire property could be sold. Here's the irony. For years, he claimed Mar-a-Lago was worth over $1 billion. But the fraud judgment found he systematically inflated values. Court-appointed monitors estimate actual value between 200 and 400 million. Independent appraisers will determine real value. The process is methodical. Marshals catalog everything, room by room.
Let me say this, y'all. I am almost convinced, truly, fully convinced that Epstein is still alive and he is still providing them information, all of what they need in order to get a conviction on him. They both. The first person who said that they could bring Trump down, because see, this is still about real estate. They fallout was about what? Real estate, property, where Trump went up under him on that property, right? And then turned around and sold it for $90 million, what, a year or two later. It's still about real estate. And who knew his dollar amount and what he had and what he did not have was Epstein. And he knew that he did not have money to buy that property in which he bought up under Epstein. So that means that he had to have been doing some fraudulent activities, embezzling, what's that other one? I can't remember the name. So who I think is providing the information that they are needing, I mean, she's already plotted a smooth getaway. Who? Which one? Melania? You talking about Melania? I think this information that they're getting, that he has gotten, is helped by way of Epstein. He paying it back. Because remember, yesterday he said, as far as he is concerned, he's done with Epstein. Y'all remember that? It's like, what you mean he done? Ain't he dead? Ain't he dead, friend? What you mean? As far as I am concerned. Okay, as far as I am concerned, I'm done with Epstein. I was like, what? Oh, okay. So you still have been working with him. You still have been working with him. What was this? Yeah, you still have been working with him over in Israel somewhere. And it's blowing my mind to see all these foreign dignitaries having business meetings and over the Epstein files. Trump burning. Yeah, he burned the air. That's one. And let that woman, mama, go. Let her go. Let her go. Nancy, Guthrie, y'all need to go and check every last one of them facilities. You need to go to Fort Watuka. You need to go to the ICE detention centers. Y'all need to go underground, because that's where she at. Because they asked him for millions of dollars, and he blaming Savannah Guthrie's interview that went viral over the weekend. It went viral Friday, and her mama came up kidnapped Saturday. Trump got her. Check ICE.
Professional appraisers establish fair market value. Items go to court-supervised auctions. But even if every item sells at fair value for $20 million total, that's 4% of the judgment. Where does the other $492 million come from? Mar-a-Lago isn't the only target. Judgment creditors filed asset discovery in 4 states.
Hi, David. Hi,
identifying
Marie.
properties, bank accounts, and revenue streams. Trump Tower penthouse in Manhattan. He claims $200 million value. Analysts estimate $120 to $180 million. Not protected by Homestead. He claims Florida residency. Seizable.
When life happens, healthcare.gov is here for you. Like it's there for Sophia. She's having a baby, so she can...
Golf courses in Bedminster, Turnberry, Dunebeg. Financial disclosures value them around $400 million combined. All commercial Manhattan. He claims of the judgment. Where does the other $492 million come from? Mar-a-Lago isn't the only target. Judgment creditors filed asset discovery in 4 states, identifying properties,
Access
bank accounts,
recovery.
and revenue streams. Trump Tower penthouse in Manhattan. He
Let's
claims
go.
$200 million value.
Get it all.
Analysts estimate
Make his
$120
ass homeless.
to $180 million. Not
Oh, you
protected by
can't mess with
Homestead.
the houses.
He
That's
claims
right.
Florida residency. Seizable.
In Florida,
Golf
you can't.
courses in Bedminster, Turnberry, Dunebeg. Financial disclosures value them around $400 million combined. All commercial operations. All seizable. Licensing deals generating $5 to $20 million annually. Revenue can be seized through court orders redirecting payments to creditors. Bank accounts at multiple institutions. Asset discovery subpoenaed JP Morgan Chase, Deutsche Bank, Capital One. If there are tens of millions liquid, those accounts can be frozen and transferred. When collecting a judgment this large, you cast a wide net. You prioritize based on value and liquidity. Bank accounts are maximally liquid, freeze and transfer in days. Licensing revenue is moderately liquid, redirect future payments in weeks. Real estate is valuable, but illiquid. Marketing and selling takes months or years. The strategy: hit liquid assets first to stop the bleeding from daily interest, then pursue real estate for bulk recovery. The judgment accrues $46 million per year in interest, $4 million per month, $134,000 daily. Every day this drags out, the debt grows. His legal team will challenge everything: appraisals, seizures, valuations. But the appeals are over. The judgments are final. Every challenge now is about enforcement details, not whether enforcement happens. Let me know in the comments. Do you think the full judgment gets collected through asset sales? Or does this drag out for years? I'm curious what you're seeing. Now let me show you what happened when marshals entered the property. This morning at 8:47, 3 U.S. Marshals, 4 appraisers, and 2 sheriff's deputies arrived at Mar-a-Lago's main gate. The lead marshal carried the court order authorizing entry to catalog and appraise assets. Security refused entry initially. Standard procedure when law enforcement arrives unexpectedly. The marshal presented the writ. Security called supervisors. The supervisor called the property manager. The manager called lawyers. For 90 minutes, there was a standoff while lawyers reviewed the writ. The lawyers checked. Is it valid? Properly issued? Any pending stays blocking enforcement? At 10:15 a.m., the lawyers concluded. The writ is valid, properly issued, no stays in effect. Florida law requires access. The lawyers
Hey,
told
Miss
security,
Tom, thank you.
let them in. At 10:17, the gates opened. The appraisal team began in public club areas, the ballroom, dining room, corridors and common spaces. They photographed artwork, measured furniture, checked manufacturer labels on chandeliers, examined antiques. One witness saw an appraiser photographing a large landscape painting in the ballroom, taking notes about the artist and period. Another reported the team measuring an antique sideboard, checking for maker's marks. Clinical, professional, by the book. The marshals provided security, but didn't participate in appraisals. Their role? Ensure the appraisers could work without interference. By 1:30 p.m., they'd cataloged public areas. They did not enter private residential spaces. Those require additional court authorization. The team left around 2 p.m. 6 hours on site. Tomorrow, appraisers begin valuations. They'll research comparable sales, check auction records, consult databases. By next week, they submit preliminary valuations to the court, listing each item with estimated fair market value. Then creditors can request court authorization for auctions. For someone who's operated for decades, assuming wealth provides immunity from legal consequences, having federal law enforcement on your property, cataloging your possessions, represents forced confrontation with reality. The law doesn't negotiate. The writ was valid. Entry was required. When the lawyers confirmed the marshals had legal authority, there was no option except compliance. That's accountability. Physical, immediate, undeniable. Cataloging continues tomorrow at Trump Tower. Next week, the New Jersey golf courses. The system is functioning. Slowly, methodically, but functioning. This case sets 3 precedents affecting civil
Hit the like
judgments
button,
for
please.
decades. First, wealth does not create immunity from judgment enforcement. For decades, wealthy defendants used a standard playbook. File appeals, hide assets in corporate structures, move money offshore.
So, according to the University of Delaware, people with an IQ of 115
He
and
losing them
above can
appeals.
perform
Delay until creditors run out of resources and settle for pennies. O.J. Simpson's civil judgment.
Hit the like button. Double tap the face of your screen or hit the 3 dots. I'm not playing. I'm going on 3 hours. This don't make no sense to me. I got other places I can go. What time is it? It's almost 7. Oh, it's 6:30. I'm on my sour sap today. Hit the like button. You never know what they putting in that food to try to kill us. Get the lights up. While I sip my sour sop. Police offered a $2,500 reward. They want millions of dollars on what is it? Cryptocurrency. That ain't nobody but Trump. He done sent the ICE agents over there to grab that woman out and threaten and blackmail. All of it. It sounds like everything that they were used to doing. Blackmail, extortion, all of that. And they said Melania day in court wasn't good either. 161 people in here. I'm not going now a step further until y'all double tap the face of the screen to get or hit those 3 dots at the top right. You might as well go and stop prolonging. I leave, yeah. Thank y'all, Monty, Specs, Miss Tom. But the likes ain't moved. It gotta hit the algorithm. It gotta hit the algorithm. They don't want it to hit the algorithm. When they start pulling these stunts like this, they don't want it to hit the algorithm. Double tap the face of your screen. Get the likes up. That sour sop juice is good.
The Goldman family pursued assets for 25 years, eventually collecting 30 of 33.5 million. Bernie Madoff victims. Marshals seized everything. His watch, his wife's jewelry, a signed baseball.
His wife's jewelry, signed baseball. Now, how is this not really coming from him and he know the shit that's up in their house?
Until creditors run out of resources and settle for pennies.
Signed baseball. Let's go.
The Goldman family pursued assets for 25 years, eventually collecting 30 of 33.5 million.
Dang.
Bernie Madoff victims. Marshals seized everything. His watch, his wife's jewelry, a signed baseball, furniture. The message: you pay voluntarily or through seizure.
Wow.
Rudy Giuliani faces 148 million in defamation judgments. Creditors are pursuing his apartments, his Mercedes,
oh wow,
his World Series rings.
It's coming back to hunt him too.
Similar resistance.
ICE holding that lady hostage for a ransom. Absolutely, Marie.
Creditors have resources and determination, and courts maintain enforcement authority.
It's getting Giuliani too.
Judgments, not guaranteed, not fast, but real. Second, civil consequences can achieve accountability when criminal prosecution doesn't. The fraud judgment was civil, not criminal. No prison. But civil judgments carry powerful tools. Asset seizure. Business dissolution. He's barred from operating businesses in New York for 3 years. Lifetime financial monitoring. These are accountability mechanisms when criminal prosecution isn't available or doesn't succeed. Criminal cases require proof beyond reasonable doubt. Civil cases require preponderance of evidence, a much lower bar. When criminal prosecution faces obstacles,
Mrs. Tom.
Civil judgments offer alternative accountability. Third, visible enforcement creates public accountability. Legal filings are invisible to most Americans. Marshals arriving at Mar-a-Lago creates an image that penetrates public consciousness. It makes abstract judgments concrete. It demonstrates the legal system can function, even when the defendant is wealthy and politically connected. That visibility matters. It affects public perception of equal justice. It influences whether other creditors believe enforcement is possible. When people see marshals executing a writ at a property owned by someone who held the highest office, it signals the law doesn't stop at a certain wealth threshold.
Oh,
The pattern
so
that determines
don't. Ooh, how
success isn't judgment size
embarrassing.
or defendant wealth. It's creditor persistence
Oh, I know he
and
hot.
court willingness to use enforcement tools. When creditors give up, the system fails. When courts grant endless delays, the system fails. But when creditors persist and courts maintain schedules and use available tools, the system can work. If you've been frustrated watching powerful people dodge accountability through endless delays, this is what it looks like when creditors don't settle, when they pursue every legal channel, when the system provides tools to actually collect. Not guaranteed success, but a demonstration the path exists. Today, they used it. I'm tracking 3 developments over the next 2 weeks that will determine whether this produces payment or more legal warfare. First, appraisal valuations. Appraisers submit preliminary valuations by Friday, November 22nd, 8 days from now. The total tells us, are Mar-a-Lago assets sufficient to make a meaningful dent, or do creditors need to immediately shift focus elsewhere? If preliminary valuation is 20 to 30 million, that's 4 to 6% of the judgment, meaningful but insufficient. If it's 80 to 100 million, creditors might prioritize Mar-a-Lago auctions first. If it's low, expect immediate action on Trump Tower assets. I'm watching for that filing November 22nd. Second, legal countermoves. His team will file something. What they file reveals what they fear. Emergency motion to halt seizure? They're trying to stop the entire process. Motion challenging specific asset classifications? Fighting item by item. Motion challenging appraisers before valuations are submitted? Worried about high valuations. If they challenge Mar-a-Lago's business classification, arguing homestead protection, they're worried about losing the entire property. If they challenge individual appraisals, they've accepted seizure will proceed, but they're fighting over value. If they go quiet, no filings, that's most interesting. Could signal behind-the-scenes negotiations. Third, payment negotiations. Sometimes asset seizure triggers settlement talks. When defendants see marshals cataloging possessions, abstract threats become concrete. That's when settlement negotiations often begin. A settlement could mean a payment plan satisfying the judgment over time without forced sales. Creditors evaluate. Is guaranteed payment over time better than costly auctions and ongoing litigation? If the defense proposes settlement, it signals fighting is more expensive than paying. If they stay silent and file more motions, more warfare ahead. I'm watching for settlement indications in court filings over the next 2 weeks. Appraisals by November 22nd. Legal countermoves, watch what they challenge. Settlement negotiations, watch for talks. The judgment was entered. Appeals failed. The law required enforcement. Marshals arrived with a court order. The system worked today. Not perfectly, not instantly, but it functioned. Subscribe to follow this through the auctions. And let me know in the comments.
Ooh wee, ooh wee. Ooh wee, ooh. Ooh wee, ooh wee. Hold on.
Listen, paying $14.99 a month for a streaming app and $9.99 a month for a music app and $12.99 for
a diminutive 94-year-old senior status federal judge in New York named Alvin Hellerstein, based on a hearing today, seems poised to reject Donald Trump's efforts to have his state court criminal convictions of 34 felony counts overturned in a federal court based on federal defenses. You got to get through Alvin Hellerstein first. And based on the hearing today, I don't see it happening. I think he's going to reject the attempts and leave the conviction where it lies in state court with state processes. And the only way out for Donald Trump will try to throw himself on the mercy of the United States Supreme Court in another way. I'm Michael Popak. You're here on Wednesday on Legal AF. Let's get to the hearing. I gave you the preview yesterday. Alvin Hellerstein, assigned to this case a couple of years ago. Donald Trump tried about a month or two after the case was started in state court by the Manhattan District Attorney's Office, a state prosecutor, for 34 felony counts. He was indicted related to tax, business record fraud, election fraud and interference, and also a cover-up related to the Stormy Daniels hush money payments made through Michael Cohen. If you'll remember, he got convicted by a jury presided over by Judge Merchan, and then there was a sentencing in July of 2024. He tried once to take it to Judge Hellerstein.
Let me hear this one.
Marshals stand down. Those 3 words, according to newly surfaced legal disclosures, changed everything in the case against Judge Caldwell.
Oh, okay, that's that Judge Caldwell. Hold on. That's that 9 minutes ago. Hold on.
There are so many unanswered questions in this case.
For sure. To help us better understand how investigators are working it tonight, Fox 10's Ashley Rodriguez spoke with a former FBI agent. So, Ashley, what did he have to say?
With this new development, there's even more unanswered questions. This case is very odd. Even a former FBI guy will admit that. But Lance Leasing told me today that most abduction cases, if that's what this is, are solved through tips and cell phone data, which is why it's a good thing Pima County is partnering with FBI investigators who can bring the manpower to help sort through this massive workload. In sorting through the case of Tucson's missing 84-year-old Nancy Guthrie, former FBI agent Lance Leasing says what we're all thinking.
Like Hollywood makes these feel like stranger abductions are common. They're not.
The public assumes Nancy was abducted, although what happened remains a mystery. If she was, Leasing says abductions are usually motivated by money, passion, or ideology, and all are extremely rare. And he especially doubts the legitimacy of the 2 ransom notes sent to TMZ and KOLD-TV.
That was another reason. That was another reason why I said this is Trump. Because, right when this happened, Harvey Levin name popped up in the Epstein files. And then it's ironic, because, he was protecting Trump, and he's one of the Trump lovers. His name appeared. She went missing. And whoever it is already Mark, whatever that, Garagos, Harvey Levin, out of the good old boys. The good old boys. So they sent the ransom note to TMZ for millions of dollars to tell the world. Now, if y'all don't know this ain't a Trump production, I don't know what else to tell you. And now we finding out that all them appeals are backfiring. Years ago, I said it was going to catch him with them PPPs, all of that type of stuff. You rich when you need something, you poor when you avoid something. Those documents got, at some point, they gotta add up or line up. It ain't rocket science. It just took for somebody to do their damn job. You can't be rich when you want money and broke every year. For how many years? At the end, you writing off everything. So which are you? Are you broke? Well, hell, right now it sounds like that you really broke. Now you grabbing people for $1 million ransoms to be paid in Bitcoins. You trying to prepare your great escape. And then you slipped up yesterday and said, as far as I am concerned, you done with Epstein. You wasn't talking about him because you know that's not going nowhere. But you said that it was Epstein and Wolf. So you know Wolf is sticking it not only to your wife, yeah, because she shouldn't have opened her big ass mouth and tried to follow your suit and threaten to sue him when he had the tea. You understand? And you took the bait. And he baited y'all asses in. And now she's trying to get, just like he is, trying to get it moved over to federal in Florida so that whoever you have that's going to work in your favor can get it. And they not going to let that happen. They sick of you. You went too far. God said no. God said no. God pulled a power move. God said no. It's just as easy. How in the hell would they send it to TMZ? Did they send it to Savannah? Did she get it? Why would they send a copy of what they sent to Savannah to you? Doing that showed your hand. If people pay attention to how you move. Yeah.
Cases, a ransom note going to a media outlet is for an ideological purpose. That you want to get your message out. You've got something.
That's Trump, baby.
A media outlet is for an ideological purpose.
ADOLPH
And TMZ is happy to do it because he won't he don't want people watching him because his name popped up in them damn Epstein files. Y'all should not have been perverts.
Policing says what we're all thinking.
Like Hollywood makes these feel like stranger abductions are common. They're not.
The public assumes Nancy was abducted, although what happened
Thank you,
remains
Mrs.
a
Tom.
mystery. If she was, Leasing says abductions are usually motivated by money, passion, or ideology, and all are extremely rare. And he especially doubts the legitimacy of the two ransom notes sent to TMZ and KOLD-TV in Tucson.
In most cases, a ransom note going to a media outlet is for an ideological purpose. That you want to get your message out. You've got something to say. This victim doesn't scream that. This is an 80-year-old grandmother.
Pima County Sheriff Chris Nano says there are lots of leads coming in from the public, generated in part due to daughter Savannah Guthrie's celebrity.
There are a lot of factors in this case that might break it, but 9 times out of 10 it's public tips.
Leasing believes Nancy was targeted based on the geography of where
Absolutely
her home is.
targeted.
North Camino Escalante
Cause
is not
Savannah's
obvious and hard to find,
interview
but the
went viral.
remoteness and fewer people might be helpful, making suspicious activity and crucial cell phone and electronic data easier for investigators to capture.
A case like this, they likely planned this for days, if not weeks, prior to this, so you would have seen that suspicious activity for a period of time, and it gives you more opportunity to collect that.
So Leasing says that investigators are probably looking at any grievance that people may have with Savannah as well, or even NBC News. But the reality is the longer this takes, the worse the outcome for Nancy.
Yeah, actually, now that we have this new development with the crime scene tape up front,
I know a Big L. I don't have no sense to it.
after this all happened, did he have anything to say about that when it was all taken down?
So I mentioned during the press
They made me
conference
have a
on Tuesday
meltdown
that the
earlier
reporters
today. Big L, you missed it. I had a meltdown with my financial advisors. The first lady and then the expert when they transferred me. She's talking about how much I have paid over the course of years in taxes to the government. Oh! I was like, I don't want a dime. I should have a right. I should have a choice not to. Lord, I don't even want to think about it because I just had a meltdown. I don't want a dime of my money going toward none of this. I don't want to feel like I have contributed to Sodom and Gomorrah. I just don't. And she was like, I totally understand, ma'am. I really do more than you. And then she sent me over to the guy. Do I need my take? Am I making any money? Because I don't want to pay taxes on none of that shit. If I'm not down with it, I don't want to pay for it. I am so sorry. I am having a meltdown. And I told her that I was going to tell y'all I had a meltdown. I said, baby girl, you just don't know. I talk about this every day. And I'm going to have to let the T-Sippers know I had a meltdown. When I heard how much of my money will be, oh, Lord. Let me feel. I'm telling you. I'm on one. Auntie Fee had a 2 meltdowns, a 1.5 meltdown today with the financial advisor talking about my hard-earned tax-paying money. I should have a right where I want whatever percentage to go to. Hell, is there a victims organization that money should be going over there? Thank you. You sent me a cash app for today. It's your birthday. I feel bad. Thank you. And happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Big L. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Big L. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Hi, Nicole. Auntie Fee, that sour stuff make... Oh, I'm a victim. Send me... I mean, we should have a choice, especially when you misappropriating funds, especially if you are sending money to that Israel, trying to build new Gaza on our tax-paying dime. The devil is a lie. Lord, I need you to shut this down right now. I don't want a dime. A dime of my money is way too much. I need 9 pennies back, baby. Huh? What? I told that lady the pain that I've been going through for 2 weeks is far more painful than thinking about what them kids went through. Oh my Lord, I better stop before I start crying.
Asking
let me stop.
Should the public be worried that they're suspects?
See what happens? See what happens? You talk yourself on over into some tears. See, if you don't have that type of empathy about what's going on in the world today, and just thinking about what those kids, young kids, babies, adults have been through over however long, you need to have a talk with Jesus. If your heart don't hurt, if tears don't come to you, if you don't have no empathy, you need to have a little talk with Jesus. Something ain't right with your heart. You got a heart condition. Something ain't right. If you say that don't have nothing to do with me, you're a lie. And the truth ain't in you. To hear some of them people talk about stop eating McDonald's, and when you do eat McDonald's, you eating your own. Even Putin talked about eating McDonald's. If only they knew. Ronald McDonald was a clown to lure in the kids. Let me go on before I go there. Y'all hit the like button.
Possible kidnappers walking around their neighborhood, and he said, no, this is such a rare case. I don't think the public is at any risk.
I have a nephew that loves McDonald's. It's like, Lord, how do I reach my family to lure, find something else that kid like? Cut it off. Cut it off. Happy birthday to everybody who, my February birthday babies. Happy birthday.
When I told the FBI agent that leasing, he said that's
The
odd.
Playhouse,
If we don't
absolutely.
have any suspects, why would you assume that the public is not at risk?
Exactly.
Now, something else that came up during the press conference is that they collected DNA, which is an arduous task because we're talking about they're swabbing doorknobs and they're swabbing for fingerprints, and there's so much DNA in there. So then they sent all that to a lab. They were waiting for those results to come back. So maybe they got something that came back and they need to put the tape back up. The other thing is you can swab for DNA, but the only way you have a match is if that suspect is already in the system. So there's so many factors.
in the CODIS system.
The CODIS, yeah.
In the fish fries.
I keep coming back to
That's
this.
Bill Gates. That's Bill Gates. From them potatoes in the fields that he done sprayed them. They sprayed with oh man, oh my God. That's why I'm on my sour sap. And listen, where is Janet? I don't know where she been. But listen, we was talking about the ointment that was helping me the most with my injury. And I was trying to find Uncle Bud's. And I went to the link by ordering and I know this has been a long time, but then I started saying, well, you know what? Now I ain't never smoked nothing. I'm talking about this what word? Cantra. But I thought about in Denver, I thought about some years ago during COVID about once it went legal, I thought about, starting business. So I had some old samples of some oils. I'm telling y'all the truth. I'm telling y'all something. And I thought about until I get the right one of Uncle Ben's, of Uncle Bud's. I said, girl, Lord, it came to mind that I had some oil that's been here for a while. Now, when I told a neighbor about some, I'm gonna leave that story alone. Some gummies I had that had been sitting, never opened for years. She said, girl, you lying to me. She said, I said, yeah, I know they've been over there since, I think, 2020, when the COVID hit. Because that's when my mind started wondering, well, girl, it's legal. Maybe that could be something to invest in, She said, girl, let me see. I know you lying. So I went and she said, they ain't even been over there. She said, oh, girl, I know they probably good and potent. I'm gonna leave that story right there. I'm gonna leave that story. She said, I just can't believe you've been having, and then I thought about it. I said, well, how am I gonna know if they good? You ain't never. I said, I need my nephew. Hell, how am I gonna know? was good or not. So I said all that to say that I've been having this all. So if you know them gummies have been there for a long time. I mean long time. She said, girl, I know they good. I've been having this all by this long, right? So I said, well, let me. You say I'll volunteer? Baby. She said, baby, I know you lying to me. It's funny now. It was funny then, but it's real funny now. Cause hell, how am I gonna know? How am I gonna know if it's good or not? If I ain't never, you know. So I said all that to say, I said, girl, rub some of that oil on that knee. Anoint that knee with oil and see what it's gonna do. Let's see if this oil is real good. If them gummies was potent, Lord in heaven knows that oil may be potent too. Y'all know I ain't got no sense. If it's good enough for them gummies, then it's good enough for this oil. Thy cup runneth over with oil, baby. The first, I'm talking about ever since I've been rubbing this oil on my knee. I feel my knee getting better. Naturally, Nolan say it's good. Baby, I was able to walk much quicker and much farther since I've been rubbing this on my knee. Woo! So listen, I said all that to say. Let me rub you down. So listen, Janice, baby, if you can't find Uncle Bud's, get you some oil if it's legal in your area. Now, if it ain't legal in your area, wait on Uncle Bud's. But Haunty, if it's legal, mine may be just a little stronger. Make sure you get your good. Because they said that when I researched that this is not the strongest strength. Well, hell, I can't tell. So if it was stronger than, because it's been sitting for some years. It's been sitting, y'all. It's been sitting for at least 5 years. It's 2026. It's 5+ years old. Eureka! Hello. Hello. You know, y'all know I don't know. I ain't never. I'm telling you, that girl said you lying to me. I know you lying. I had to talk to my neighbor yesterday. She said, "Girl, I was wondering why I hadn't seen you fermented down, baby. Fermented down." Let me get on. Yes, indeed. Now make sure it's legal in your area. Don't be saying Auntie Fee told me to get it and it ain't legal where you live. I don't know nothing about none of that. I'm just trying to tell you what's been sitting over there since 2020. Let me check some. Let me check some.
You don't
Oh my God, how
Miss
funny.
Guthrie out of the house unless she is of some value to you. If it's a robbery, you hurt her, harm her, disable her, maybe even kill her, and leave no witnesses, and take what you want to take and steal what you want to steal and get out of there. To remove her means she is of some value to whoever took her. And
Absolutely.
that just speaks to a ransom situation, an abduction.
You said extortion earlier. And if that's the case, that's a good thing because they're going to want to keep her alive.
Right.
We have been reporting that she needs medication, that if she didn't have in 24 hours, it was very serious, maybe even fatal. What did they know? Did they know that she needed medication? Are they keeping her safe? Are they trying to get something out of it? Something else he brought up was if it is ransom, they would have sent that note directly to family and they would not have wanted law enforcement involved. They would want that money immediately. We are now, what, how many days removed?
4 days.
So this is just not adding up. Nothing makes sense.
No, I know. I'm with you on that. Very strange. Ashley, thank you.
All right.
Well, we will, of course, keep you up to date on all of this information on the abduction of Nancy Guthrie, and we will bring you the very latest on our website, fox10phoenix.com, and that goes fox10phoenix.com/Guthrie if you want to get all of that particular information, or you can scan the QR code on your screen right now.
That's the sound of an American oil company hard at work. Want to be a part of it? Listen up.
Girl, you
Hello,
lying.
my name is Adam Ferrari, and I'm the CEO of Phoenix
Girl,
Energy.
you are
I look forward to
lying
you joining us
to
at our
me.
next webinar where you can drill deeper into our bond offering. We
Y'all,
currently offer 2 investment
I ain't
opportunities.
no good.
A private placement bond offering.
I ain't no good. I ain't no good. I ain't no good. I ain't no good. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Baby, I thank you, God. I can laugh at myself. Lord, y'all got me now over here searching. Because I'm telling you, I was considering going into business but didn't know. I just, hell, if I can't give my nephew, how am I going to know if it's good or not? That's just kind of, and I talked to him about it because I was telling him, I kind of had a whole little, I had a whole little idea. If I tell you, somebody going to take it. But I was going to incorporate at least 3 things. This shop was going to have what he does for a living, my side hustle on display, all of that. So, again, so here go another one. I had never even opened this bottle. Let me take this down. It's funny to me. It's funny, y'all. It's funny because I'm on it now. And that all has really helped. Okay? So here go another one. It's still in the box. Never open. Because I said, well, this one must be stronger. So if I see some relief, I got another little backup. This is all because it only came to my mind because I couldn't find Uncle Bud, right? So here I'm looking at this one. Just then, I went and opened the box looking for expiration date, looking for a date. Can y'all see that? How can I make y'all see this? Ouch! Where is it at? Can somebody see that? How can I make y'all? What does that say? So how long has this been sitting over there? Never open. You see, you can see the plastic still on. How long has that been sitting over there? Oh, that's the expiration date. Did y'all see that? If I tell her that, she gonna say, girl, you lying to me. Just sitting. Look at my comment. What you say? Oh, it must have blocked it. Hold on. No. Auntie made me do it. Your design. I don't see your comment. Naturally. Nolans. I see she laughing at Miss Tom. What Miss Tom say? Where Miss Tom? Oh, Lord. Miss Tom, she ain't in here, is she? Oh, Lord, what Miss Tom say? February 2023. 2023. And the plastic is still on it. It's still on it. Just sitting over there. Oh, my God. How funny. And this one is stronger than that other one over there. You know, I feel like, well, Lord Child is as much pain as you in. Hell, it can't do nothing but numb it. It's already... Okay, where are we going? Where are we going now? Hold on, y'all. Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. Have mercy on me. Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. That's all I can say. Please do not make me come through the screen and snatch it.
Still managing company travel manually? Put it on autopilot with Navan. All your work trips...
2023.
In one platform.
She said, oh,
Navan,
I know that.
travel made
Ooh.
easy. Get started for free.
Yeah. Ain't thought nothing about that all until the other day. When I found this. And the hell, the Mr. Bud thing. Anyway, y'all know Auntie Fee. Auntie Fee sitting over there. They say with all that good stuff over. What is this? What's happening over there? White House. What is it? Okay, what was saying?
Welcome to the Court of History. I'm Sidney Blumenthal. I'm here with Sean Wilentz, distinguished historian, author of The Rise of American Democracy. Sean, we are awash in Epstein files revelations, even as the Department of Justice has suppressed half of them.
I can put it all on my neck
much of them,
and
but
be
we
back.
still have many new revelations here.
Yeah, there's all sorts of
They were
stuff
sitting
coming
over
out.
here
I mean,
with
this
all of this
world,
healing.
you know, the closer you look at this world,
What they talking about?
the more horrifying it gets, I suppose. I mean, it's we had a glimpse of it in some, but each time we get more of this data, more of these revelations, the interconnections, it's all very shocking, actually. To think of what the international jet set is up to these days, or has been over the last 20 years.
There's a 1970s phrase.
Yeah, right.
You know, many of the people in the
Something's
surrounding
going
Donald
on. Let me
Trump,
see. This looks
have
exactly
been,
like.
the subject of these disclosures.
Hold on, y'all.
From Elon Musk.
I had to take a little break for a minute. My stomach was hurt. Baby.
And there have been new revelations about the
I
former
get
Prince
it. Hold
Andrew.
on, prisoner swap.
We're lucky to have with us today
Prisoner swap.
the biographer of.
Oh yeah, because they say
Who's self-serve ads platform.
they say he alive, y'all.
Easier than ever with Ads Manager.
He was
Sign up
swapped.
today.
Old Spice Fiji gives me 24/7 freshness. It's gentle on my skin, and it's mine.
I thought we had no secrets.
Thing that was sent to the FBI by the public was.
As time goes on, more and more documents from the DOJ's release of the Epstein files come to light.
In the files, they say he's still alive.
Shocked at what's being found in there. And
And
because
if he's still alive, that means that Trump would have worked with the CIA, ABC, FBI, and everybody else who's involved to allow him to escape or to be moved or whatever. I've been thinking that it was the intel for whom Epstein worked for who would have said nope. Whoever was allowing him the sweetheart deal and whoever was allowing him to leave, come back, limo picked up, and all of that type of stuff would have been the ones who would have said, you can't keep him in there. You got to let him go and let him just disappear in the wind, would be a part of, and that would have been on Trump's watch. All of that would be in the Epstein files. Y'all better stay woke. Baby, I'm sorry, y'all. I had a meltdown today, so I thought we would talk about everything that's going on in Auntie Fee today. So if I can laugh and giggle at everybody else, I should be able to laugh and giggle at myself. And I don't want to be the only one laughing and giggling. We're going to laugh and giggle together. I gave y'all permission to laugh at Auntie Fee. And if ever somebody say she thinks she know it all, you can say no. It's some things she don't know nothing about. Cause she been over there sitting with some stuff for 2, 3, 4, 5. Sometimes 6 years, not knowing what the hell she had over there. So now there are some things that Auntie Fee don't know shit about. And you can tell them I said that. Y'all can laugh at me. I don't care. I'm laughing at me too. So a big L. We gonna laugh together, T-Sippers. Is that all right? Is that all right? If it's funny, God dang it, it's funny. I can be the butt of this joke. She's sitting over here with all this fermented healing. It's natural, and I think it comes from the Lord. Ain't that what they be saying when they want Let her knee heal. Thy knee need to heal. And I'm going to keep rubbing my knee with this oil until all this fermented oil is gone. Baby, I rub this oil on my knee 2, 3, 4 times a day. You try to take this oil away from me, you finna get a fight on your ass. A fight gonna come when you gonna let my oil go. Oh, my goodness. I'll give you anything you want. You want something to eat? You want something? Yeah. But when you come over here asking for this all that I didn't even know what I had, I'm gonna whoop your ass on one leg ass whooping, baby. You better put my all down. And if them gummies did to her what it's doing to this knee, cause y'all do know now that I'm laughing about it, she did maybe Not too long ago. Asked me, did I have any more? She said, God, I know you do. I know you do. I said, girl, I gave that to you. But I know you got some more. What the hell, you didn't even know you had them. I said, I thought you said that you put them down because they was... She said, but I figured out how to eat them. You just take a bite off of it. This is funny to me. Y'all, it is funny. Let me hear this.
So much information. I mean, millions and millions of documents. It's hard to tell what's real and what's fake. And just like the DOJ
give it to me.
This production may include fake or falsely submitted images, documents.
I think I need a little. Baby, that
by the public was included in the production.
Let me tell you, that night I took a hot bath with some magnesium flakes. Let me show you the flakes. And rub some, quite a nice size massage, a nice size all in. That next morning I couldn't remember if I limped. I just know I made it to the restroom without no problem. And it's like, how did I don't think I felt no pain. And that's what happened. Hold up. Let me show you this magnesium salt. Oh my God. Baby, it's still a little tender. But I can walk and make it in the other room without moaning and groaning. This the magnesium salt that started this mess. A big old bag. How many pounds? 8 pounds. I ordered it from Amazon. If you got knee, feet, whatever, this is the magnesium flakes. Ouch! Let me show y'all. Let me move this back, because, baby, this bag is big. Right here. Magnesium flakes. Can y'all see that? I got a cup in here. 100%. Right here. I put every night. Let me see. Let me do it right. In hot water. Don't put no more than this. That's how much I use. And when you get out, you put that all on it. Prop it up. And you're going to feel it in the morning or whenever you put a little pressure on it. You're going to be like, oh, shit. Oh, okay. There's something to that. But this right here is big old bag. And I got 2 of them. Yes, indeed. Let's go. You're going to feel better. I promise you. Yeah. That's what I do. Every night, right there. That's the prescription, Cynthia. And that all. That all. That fermented all. Hold on. I don't put the... Okay, let me get on back over here.
Public was included in the production that is responsive to the act. Some of the documents contain untrue and sensationalist claims against President Trump that were submitted to the FBI right before the 2020 election. To be clear, the claims are unfounded and false, and if they have any shred of credibility, they certainly would...
Hold on. What they saying about Jamie Foxx's name mentioned yet? The Supreme Court handed devastating loss. Yeah, police activity. Kanye West tape has everyone talking about Jay-Z.
Have been weaponized against President Trump already. Now, in one of the millions of released documents, there is a diary entry from an alleged victim. Now, this alleged victim claims to have given birth to a baby girl in 2002, when she would have been just around 16 or 17 years old, according to the Times. Now, these diary entries seem to be written in code, as you can see on screen right now. But these codes have been deciphered to where we can actually read what is being written. And one of them reads, "She was born. I heard her cries." The alleged victim wrote, "I saw this tiny head and body in between the doctor's hands. Jelaine said she was beautiful. Where is she? I do not want to be tied to Jeffrey for the rest that is responsive to the act. Some of the documents contain untrue and sensationalist claims against President Trump that were submitted to the FBI right before the 2020 election. To be clear, the claims are unfounded and false.
Educational and entertainment. Absolutely.
They certainly would have been weaponized against President Trump already. Now, in one of the millions of released documents, there is a diary entry from an alleged victim. Now, this alleged victim claims to have given birth to a baby girl in 2002, when she would have been just around 16 or 17 years old, according to the Times. Now, these diary entries seem to be written in code, as you can see on screen right now. But these codes have been deciphered to where we can actually read what is being written. And one of them reads, "She was born. I heard her cries." The alleged victim wrote, "I saw this tiny head and body in between the doctor's hands. Jelaine said she was beautiful. Where is she? I do not want to be tied to Jeffrey for the rest of my life. Playing the piano well is not a good reason to think someone has good genes or should have a baby. I am too young and he is too old."
Sparkle.
Now, if you've been on social media, what you've seen is an interview, a 2-hour-long interview featuring Jeffrey Epstein. He's being interviewed by Steve Bannon. Take a look at this video that you just have to see.
Let me give you that. I know in my case,
is your money dirty money?
If you live,
I just asked a question. Is your money dirty money?
No, it's not. So, in fact,
why is it not dirty money?
Because I earned it. A heart.
But you earned it. We went back to this before. You earned it. You earned it advising the worst people in the world, right? That do enormous bad things, and just to make more money.
So, instead of asking me the question, should you take the money? Because I think it's a legitimate question.
You think it's a legitimate question?
Yes, no question. Because I think ethics is always a complicated subject.
What are you, class 3 sexual predator?
Tier 1.
What's tier 1's the highest and worst?
No, I'm
the lowest.
I'm the lowest.
You're the lowest. Okay, tier 1, you're the lowest. You think you're the devil himself?
No, but I do have a good mirror.
It's a serious question.
Sorry.
Do you think you're the devil himself?
I don't know. Why would you say that?
Because you have all the attributes. You're incredibly smart. You remember the devil is somebody knows
smart?
The devil's brilliant. You read Milton's Paradise Lost.
No, the devil scares me.
Now, what I've seen on social media myself...
You know why the devil scares you? Because you scared of Trump. That's what Wolf said. Wolf said that you was afraid of Trump. You saying the devil is Trump.
Is perhaps one of the wildest conspiracy theories yet to date regarding Epstein. And that conspiracy theory is that Epstein is still alive. Now, if you're wondering how this came about, let me break it down for you. On the morning of Epstein's death, a post was made to
Are y'all listening? Okay,
which is an anonymous
let's pause.
online...
Have we stopped laughing, y'all? Are we listening to what our good ear? I know we've been laughing, child. I know we have. We have tickled ourselves today. Yes, indeed. At my expense, I give you that, baby, please. But I want us to listen to what the laughing disco. I know that's right, baby. What she say? What was that? I can't think of that psychedelic name. That was Hot Bernice. Euphoric. With the laughing euphoric disco. Class is in session. Yeah. Okay. So we need to listen with our good ear, cause they say one. I heard that Epstein was afraid of Trump. He said he not the devil. He's always said Trump is the most just god awful. We still okay. So and that at one point Wolf said that he was afraid of Trump. So now they saying, is he still alive? Now we heard AI say, yes, he is. He still had work to do for intelligence, CIA, FBG, or all of them initials. So let's listen. Come on, baby. Get off of it. Okay. Sometimes you just don't want to get off of it. Let's go.
Was made to 4chan, which is an anonymous online forum where made to 4chan, which is an anonymous online forum down for you. On the morning of Epstein's death, a post was made to 4chan, which is an anonymous online forum where anybody anywhere around the world can post whatever they want at any time. Now, the post reads as follows: not saying anything after this. Please do not try to dox me, but last night after 04:15 count, they took him medical in a wheelchair, front cuffed, but not one triage nurse says they spoke to him. Next thing we know, a trip van shows up. We do not do releases on the weekends unless a judge orders it. Next thing we know, he's put in a single-man cell and hangs himself. Here's the thing. The trip van did not sign in, and we did not record the plate number, and a guy in a green dress military outfit was in the back of the van, according to the tower guy who let him through the gate. You guys, I'm shaking right now, but I think they switched him out. Now the thing is that this post was made on the morning that Epstein's death was announced. And obviously it's up for debate because of how anonymous 4chan is. Anyone can go and post whatever they want and pretend to be anybody. But here's where things get even weirder. A grand jury convened by Jeffrey Berman, who is the Attorney General of the Southern District of New York, issued a subpoena to AT&T, Citibank, Apple, and 4chan itself for records that aim to uncover this anonymous poster's identity. And what they found was shocking. The subpoenas revealed the poster's name, which I won't say here to protect his identity, but the poster's name is the exact name of a prison officer whose statements were released as...
Oh. So one of the guards that got... Oh. Okay, let's listen.
But here's where things get even weirder. A grand jury convened by Jeffrey Berman, who is the Attorney General of the Southern District of New York, issued a subpoena to AT&T, Citibank, Apple, and 4chan itself for records that aim to uncover this anonymous poster's identity. And what they found was shocking. The subpoenas revealed the poster's name, which I won't say here to protect his identity, but the poster's name is the exact name of a prison officer whose statements were released as part of the prison's investigations into Epstein's death. So obviously this conspiracy is being fueled by the fact that the subpoena revealed that the name of the poster is the same name as a prison guard who was allegedly present during Epstein's death. The claim, however, of a swap out has since been debunked, with official investigations, including DOJ reviews, confirming that Epstein died by suicide.
Who coming
by
next?
Who
gonna help me reach this goal next?
And protocol failures. Alongside that, prison videos and metadata contradict the claims that there was a swap in the first place. Now look, we always read the comments, and what we're wondering is if you guys think that we are just barely scratching the surface here with the release of these new files, or if we've seen everything that there is.
Mm-mm. 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 Okay, so y'all ready for me to shut this down and get prepared for because I ain't seeing no more movements. The likes not going up. You deserve it. Thank you, precious. You deserve it. You deserve My hallelujah belongs to you. Epstein.
Do you have any reason to believe that Mr. Epstein engaged in sexual activity with Annie Farmer? Objective from the Foundation. I wouldn't,
Thank you, Specs.
Did you ever give a massage to anyone other than Mr. Epstein? At any of Mr. Epstein's
Clooney.
properties?
Her jawline. Her tongue.
I'll ask that question if you want, but I was focusing on people other than Mr. Epstein right now.
I didn't give massages.
Okay. Let's just tie that down. It is your testimony.
Do your lip game, tongue game bring all the boys to the yard? Your mouth game brings all the boys to the yard.
That's my testimony.
You never again.
Who coming next? I'm about to shut it down. Who next? Who gonna help me reach that goal? Yeah, what time is it? 7:30, 8:30, 9:30. 7:30, 8:30, 9:30. Let me see something. Who next? TP, what you got now? You got more? Ooh, you know, oftentimes we wonder.
First of all, great. I heard. But it was as.
Who are you?
Supernatural phenomena. There has to be, but we haven't. There are a lot of gaps in our understanding of this, and I think so. We're trying to work out a nice continuous.
They talking low.
Well, so if there's a bottleneck, if there's a hard step, like suppose the hard step is making some ribozyme that can replicate itself. That in principle could be so rare that exactly like you said, you could be unique. Possibly so it could be any of those. It could be, or on the other hand, it could
Oregon.
be every step along the way is very easy and is almost inevitable given a suitable planet. In which case, there might be hundreds of millions of planets with life.
What's your intuition at the moment?
So I used to refuse to answer that question, but I'm sort of coming around to the idea that all the steps might be easy, because, and this is purely based on extrapolation, that every time we look at a particular step that looks hard because we have no idea how to solve it, eventually there's a solution and it ends up looking really easy. And there haven't been any exceptions to that so far, so if that continues.
Right. And how have you been, first of all? Great. Good. He's alive. I heard. But it was as unexpected, almost dying?
Yeah, it's a close one.
Really?
Oh, that sounds nice.
Yeah, well, they were watching him for accidentally, so
Right.
didn't expect to even think of anything, so it was great. It was great, it was all right. And then it got
Thank you, Big L.
It just busted one night? No.
Oh, that was earlier. Okay, I see it.
It busted one night? I mean, so it wasn't you felt a little sick over a period of time, it was just there's a...
Instead of 7:39. Is this another one? Yeah, thank you.
Really? New internal wiring done through...
You really didn't have a good laugh tonight. You didn't?
That's running like a new conduit? A new conduit in the old conduit?
Yeah. It's like it inflates on the inside.
Wow.
Some coffee, Gloria? Coffee? Some coffee?
That's right. It seemed like a perfectly good cell to infect, and then somebody came along and dismantled it.
Okay, y'all, I'll be back. Let me figure out what's going on with this guy. This is supposed to be a secret. A secret. And then I'm going to set the next live for 9:30 tonight. It's not already up, but be looking for it. Set your watch on your phone, your clock on your phone. And I'll be back at 9:30. We're going to listen to our sister girl, and then we're going to finish up here with all of this leaked stuff. It's leaking. It's leaking. And they may have a suspect. I'll be back, y'all, 9:30.